They let us out of the studio for the first time in a long time on a day in which it's going to rain cats and dogs, but it doesn't matter. We're inside where it's dry, and we're happy to be here on location today for Sports 56 Mornings. We're at TSS Supply at 5665 East Rains Road. We'll give you all the information, the pertinent information in just a moment, but first, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. It's the Friday, September 27th, 2024 edition of the program. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy on location. Zach Boyd producing for the final time before he moves on to his job as a teacher. And a lot of folks have responded to me, Zach, personally, to congratulate you. They said we need more teachers in the world. So hats off to that, of course. And then Elijah Seegers, who will take over as our producer of the program, he's there as well. They're in the Family Leisure Studios, 2120 Whitten Road. Family Leisure is at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40, where the world's biggest spa sale continues. Check them out this weekend if you can. But those guys are inside the Family Leisure Studios. It is a miserable day, and that was expected, not a surprise. Currently 64. We'll only get up to 66 today. And rain all day long. Heavy rainfall at times. Could get 1 to 2 inches of rain, so be careful about flooding tonight. A steady rain this evening with showers continuing overnight. Low is 62. Another half inch of rain is expected. We should get some rain early on Saturday, and then it will start to dissipate. Good chance that rain may be gone by late afternoon into the evening. That means good news for the Tigers football game in Memphis at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. Not sure about Oxford, where Eli will be at for the Ole Miss Kentucky game, which is an earlier game. So again, keep a mindset on the forecast as far as the weather is concerned, but certainly we'll play havoc tonight with high school football, and John Varlas will be in here with us live on location to explain all that coming up on the program. Of course, the first hour of the program is brought to you by the great folks at the Big Green Egg. John Varlas, as I mentioned, will join us at 7:25. We'll talk Grizzlies with Parker Fleming at 8:25. Media Day is Monday, and camp begins in Nashville on Tuesday. At 9:05, we'll play 10 in a row, the game show that has swept the nation. And then at 9:25, you know him, you love him, you can't live without him. Brandon Lang will handicap some of the big NFL and college football games this weekend. The NFL Week 3 already, make that Week 4 already kicking off last night. College football Week 5 started last night as well. We'll talk about that. Ed Scott, University of Memphis AD, had a press conference yesterday. We will discuss what he had to say about Memphis turning down an invitation to the Pac-12, Pac-8, Pac-9, whatever you want to call it. And we got some baseball news as well. So more teams have clinched playoffs for Oktoberfest, if you will, final weekend of the regular season. That's your lineup for today. Kick back, relax, and enjoy. And Eli, we hope the folks will come on out. Maybe they need an ark, maybe a boat, but to come see us here at TSS Supply, and this place is massive.
Yeah, it is. We are in the warehouse because we were supposed to be outside today, but Mother Nature did not want that to happen. This place it's crazy. It's massive, but it's just stocked to the gills. I mean, they have, when it comes to concrete finishings, polishing, coating supplies, whatever it is that you could possibly need in the world of concrete finishing, you contractors out there, there is no other place to go. They will have absolutely everything you could possibly need right here in one place. So you don't have to try and go to 4 different stops before you head out to the job site, all of that stuff. One place right here, they've got it. From epoxy, decorative concrete sealers. It's a 100,000 square foot warehouse. And they've got, again, we're talking stuff stacked to the ceilings in here.
It's like a Costco.
It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine there's anything in the world you could come up with that you would need that they don't have here. They got everything that you could possibly imagine here at TSS Supply. So you could come on by, check it out. They're open from 7 to 5, Monday through Friday. Again, contractors, this is the place to come to get all of your stuff for your concrete finishings. We've got some breakfast that has just arrived.
Yeah, so Bigsby Coffee with coffee and bagels And we have that for breakfast. Big B. This is the first. Where's Big B, by the way? Germantown Parkway, Walnut Grove. We thank them for sponsoring our breakfast. So, again, folks, I know it's raining outside, but you're up early with us every day. If you're in this area, zip on by, stop in, see what they have to offer here, and then grab yourself a bagel, grab yourself a cup of coffee from Big B Coffee, and enjoy the morning. And then later today for lunch, John Harden will have his show out here as well from 11 to 1, and we'll have lunch for you during those hours.
Yeah, Baby Jack's Barbecue will be here for lunch. So you got bagels for breakfast, barbecue for lunch. Can't beat that deal. You can come on by. If you come on by, you can register as well. We've got registration box here. We're going to give away a 4-pack of tickets for the Tigers Middle Tennessee State game tomorrow, as well as a 4-pack of tickets for the next home game, which is the North Texas game, which will be on October, what would that date be? October 19th? 19th. October 19th would be the North Texas game. They're off next week. Yeah. Not October 19th will be the North Texas game. We'll give away 4 tickets for that as well. John will be drawing those at the end of his show today. So you've got a chance to win 4 tickets for tomorrow's game or 4 tickets for the North Texas game. Plus, we got again, breakfast here now. We've got lunch coming later on. So everything you need here. You won't melt if you get wet. Just remember that. You won't melt.
Well, look, it could be.
You could park right up here close and walk right in the door. You don't have to get wet at all, really. I mean, there's very little time that you have to deal with the rain to get on in here, see us, win some prizes, enjoy some breakfast.
Could be a lot worse. Obviously, the Panhandle was smashed. Georgia, it's moving up and then kind of veering to the left. Nashville's going to get it pretty good. We're going to get remnants, obviously, but yes, it could be a lot worse where we are. We certainly want to send our thoughts and prayers out to the folks in the Panhandle and in Georgia. There's been a few fatalities already from Hurricane Helene, who hit as a Category 4.
It's, it is, certainly down there. Our thoughts with all of those folks. Can't imagine. Yeah, we're just dealing with a little bit of rain. Let's be honest. We just got a little rain. What they have to deal with a lot worse. Right now, if you look at the radar right now, there is literally a green blob that stretches from here to Washington, D.C. It is raining everywhere in between there.
You sure the aliens aren't taking over?
It is. I mean,
I don't like green blobs.
There is a lot of rain happening right now across this part of our country. It is unbelievable.
But as you said, here, you got to be careful. Could be some flooding, but for the most part, it's just rain. Come on by and see us. If you are early birds, and of course, if you're listening right now, you are early birds. Get yourself a cup of coffee, grab a bagel from Big B Coffee, and then go on your merry way. But check out everything they have to offer here. As Eli just went over what they do have to offer at TSS Supply, and they have industry experts on site year-round. So any questions that you have, they will answer them for you. Okay, we got a busy show. So yesterday afternoon, I was one of the media members that attended the Ed Scott press conference, University of Memphis AD. Let me just say, and I've said it before, he hasn't been there long, couple of months. He's impressive. He really is impressive to listen to. I thought he was very transparent on what went down. I mean, didn't give every minute detail out, but he gave a lot of details out. I asked him point blank, was the offer from the PAC, and we'll call it the PAC, I guess, $2.5 million for your exit fee. Is that all they were going to give you? He said, yes, that was the money, 2.5, that was going to leave us with $22.5 million we were going to have to come up with for an exit fee. He said the goal is to compete at the highest level. We didn't say no to the future of Memphis. We said no to a deal that we thought was bad. He said he understood the emotion of fans, especially longstanding fans of the University of Memphis. They want something different. They want something more exciting. He understands that, but he said the financials weren't there. They did not have a plan really for the future. It was kind of going by the seat of your pants. And he didn't say this, but while the competition I think would have been better overall, it wouldn't have been substantive. It wouldn't have been that much. Would have been a difference, but it wouldn't have been that crazy of a difference where you take a leap of faith, blind faith. You take a leap of blind faith to go to a conference that is still being built up with no thought of what type of media package they can end up getting. So he talked about that. He said there was no counter offer because there was no time to make the counter offer. He said he was in Washington attending a meeting of ADs. So it was very convenient that he had the Tulane, the UTSA, the South Florida ADs right there. They conversed. He said the decision wasn't a one-for-all, all-for-one. He said if we liked it, we would have went, no matter if the other schools were going or not. It just wasn't the best offer, and we hope that one day we will get that opportunity to play in a better conference, a bigger conference, a power conference. But for right now, we're just going to continue to work on us, getting 1% better each day. He said that we don't sit around talking about getting into the ACC or getting into the Big 12. It's not something that occupies our mind every day. We are talking about getting better and better and better as an athletic department.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think the transparency is great. He laid it out exactly what they were presented with and how they kind of broke down the numbers and went through exactly what it was. And that's, quite frankly, all of what he said and the way he laid it out is
what we said.
What we've been talking about. Said it from day one. Like, there's just no way, money-wise, that's going to, he said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he said with the projections were like 11 or million, something like that, which people were throwing out that $15 million number, which I never understood how they were going to come up with $15 million.
He said after all said and done, they'd have a surplus of $500,000, not counting the $22.5 million they'd have to come up with for the exit fee, the rest of the exit fee. And you're talking about still trying to produce enough money to fulfill the needs for these projects on campus.
He talked about the increased travel, especially for the Olympic sports, and what that would mean. It was all of exactly what you would think of why you don't make this decision to go there. Again, I think it's great that he came out and explained all of this, and again went in great detail of like this is what it costs. This is what this, and here it is. This is kind of the bottom line. This is the final number, and I certainly appreciate him doing that and think it's great. And obviously it doesn't mean they're not trying and making efforts and would love to get to a better spot, but it's got to be a better spot. You can't move just to move, and that's all this would have been. And I don't think in any way that it would have made sense. It certainly would not have made dollars.
Their projection of travel for the non-revenue sports, the Olympic sports, if you will, because the men's and women's basketball teams and football charter, 20,000 extra miles of travel is what their projection was on commercial flights with no direct flights, by the way. So a volleyball match, hey, let's zip up to Corvallis and zip right back, doesn't happen. And their guesstimation was an additional $3 million in expenditures. So look, he talked about how he listens to everything, watches everything, reads everything, and I don't know if Ed's up this early, but if he's listening, because, he talked about some of the he didn't specifically pinpoint certain media members, but you could tell which direction he was going in, that have been really against saying no to this deal. And everybody's entitled to their opinion and have their own reasons, and some are sticking to their guns, and that's fine. But we have, not because this is what Ed thinks or the University of Memphis wanted to do, this was our thoughts for the last week or so about this deal, that we both are on the same page, that it just didn't make sense. And, hopefully he has listened to that, because, again, there are a lot of people that believe it was a bad deal. Not every fan out there thinks that they should have went. There are some, and it's hard to change their minds. He said he's gotten emails, he's gotten texts about people that were pretty negative towards him about not taking this deal, and basically saying, if you had taken that deal, we'd pack out Liberty Bowl Stadium. It's crazy when I think that people believe that this time around when Boise comes to town, it's a sellout. But last year when Boise was here, it wasn't even close. Or that Washington State and Oregon State, albeit pretty good programs, would draw 55,000 people as opposed to what we have now. And remember, more than likely, if Memphis went, Tulane, UTSA, South Florida, maybe not South Florida, but more than likely two of them, maybe three of them would have went. So you'd still be playing some of those same teams. It is not the Pac-12 of old. This isn't you're giving up a chance to play against USC and Washington and all those great programs. This is not what it is. And people have to understand that, even though they are disappointed that Memphis is still status quo in the American Conference. And he didn't say anything about a long commitment to the American Conference or that Tim Pernetti is going to do all these great things. He said, look, we get along well because we're transparent, Tim and I. But there's things I don't agree with what he said, and there's things that he doesn't agree with what I said. So certainly there's that yin and yang with those two. But it doesn't mean that they're here forever in the American Conference.
Yeah, as he said, the one thing about Tim Pernetti, and we knew this, Tim Pernetti's been very open on it. He's open to looking to whatever he can do, creative ways to try and create more revenue for the conference. Whether they're able to do that or not, we shall see. Again, he made no bones about it that, they would love to be in a better conference, but right now this is the best spot they have. And so they're going to, all you can do is, dance with the one you're with. And it's hopefully something opens up in the next couple of years, but we don't know. We know this is a constant thing. It seems every single year something happens in the world of conference realignment. And what the next one is, we'll see what happens with the ACC and the lawsuits for Clemson and Florida State and where that goes, and if that ends up opening something up there or not. And then you just work from there. But, he talked about the fact that, like, when you get those types of deals, even taking like a half share, you're still like, exactly what you're getting. Again, the thing with the Pac was it was all hypothetical. There's nothing in concrete because they don't have a deal. They can't have a deal. They're not even a conference yet. So there's no way to have a concrete deal. These other places, when you go to join a conference, you know exactly what the financials are that you're getting into, and you can do the breakdown and figure this out. Okay, how does this work for us? And what is the money? So, he explained once again the whole look-in deal with the contract with the American, that it cannot go down. He made that very clear to everybody out there, for the people who are all in a panic about, all this money is going to go away from the American in a couple of years. So, again, I think it was great what he did. All of the stuff is exactly what I expected, and I still maintain that all of these fans who are so upset about it, 2 years into this conference, 2 years into that conference, would have absolutely hated it. They would have been like, we can't travel to games. Our games are at 9 o'clock at night. I can't find our games. I don't know what channel they're on. They would have absolutely hated that conference if they were in it.
So now here's the situation in the crazy Mountain West / Pac-12, Pac whatever feud that is going on. The 7 remaining Mountain West schools, including UNLV and Air Force, reconfirmed their commitment to the league. Now, they're all going to get money because the Mountain West is going to get a lot of money from the 5 schools that have left to go to the Pac-12. So those exit fees, which, again, may be paid off by the Pac-12 itself, at least the first 4, maybe not Utah State, that money will go to aid the 7 schools in solidarity, almost like the American Conference without the money, the solidarity that they will stay in the Mountain West. So the stories continue to come out fast and furious about who the Mountain West will add, because they have to add 2 full members since Hawaii is not a full member. The word is that they are going after Texas State, but there's also word that the Pac-12 or the Pac is going after Texas State, that the American may be going after Texas State. Who would have thought we'd get to the point where Texas State is that much needed by all these conferences, or at least wanted or sought after by conferences? Texas State, not a bad program, but there's also word that the Mountain West could be going after at least Northern Illinois, maybe Northern Illinois and Toledo from the MAC for football only. Texas State would be all sports. So again, as we talked about yesterday, boy, you're really getting down to the bottom of the barrel. We're just waiting for that day or hour that they say, yeah, we're going after UTEP. With all due respect.
I mean, it's just like, these schools are like, it is a bidding war for schools that would never imagine. But you've got 2 conferences who are sitting there. You got, 2 wannabe conferences. They are not conferences right now. They have to have teams to make sure that they are still, one becoming a conference, one remaining a conference. So, yeah, you have to look under every nook and cranny to find somebody willing to that needs an island, that wants a home, and you'll add them and do whatever you have to do to add them.
It is so bad that Sacramento State, a 1AA school, is talking about now having the funding that they were able to get, I guess, deep-pocketed boosters to pony up to build a stadium to go after eventually a spot in the pack. I mean, again, that's where we are right now. It's absolutely crazy with what's happening around the country, the landscape of college, specifically college football. But that's where we are. Speaking of college football, last night, Army beat Temple 42-14. We talked about this yesterday. Army may lose to Notre Dame. Who knows? Maybe they'll lose to Air Force. But the only obstacle I see on that schedule in the American Conference is UTSA, and I think they have them at home.
They do.
It looks like they have given Army this golden path in their first year in the American Conference, a golden path to the conference championship game.
I understand that making these schedules has got to be a difficult thing and all that, figuring this out. I honestly don't know how the American Athletic Conference office, when these schedules were being made, could have looked at Army's schedule and thought, this makes sense.
Yeah. This is fair to everybody else.
I don't even understand that. I had really not paid attention to their schedule until here just recently. And looked at it, I was like, wait a second. Like, they don't play Memphis, Tulane, or South Florida, and they get UTSA at home. Like, that would be ridiculous, quite frankly, for any team in the conference to get that benefit of the doubt. For the team in the first year of the conference to get that schedule is crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Somebody had to be like, well, wait a second, hold on. We all love our military. We're big fans of the military,
right?
Here. But come on now, we can't do this. Like, we are giving them basically a clear path.
Yes.
To the conference championship game. Like, because it's not like people don't know who the good teams are. Like, everybody knew, okay, these teams are probably the better ones. We got some groupings here of like, these teams are pretty good. These teams are kind of the middle. These teams are the bottom. And like, you couldn't look at Army's schedule and go, wait a second. They have one of the teams that's in that grouping up top. And again, even if you consider like Navy possibly the next best team like right now, again, their game against Navy doesn't count in the conference. So like, they just don't play it. They literally play the bottom half of the conference, basically, in UTSA, which they get at home.
Look, it's not dire for Memphis. We've talked about it this week after the loss to Navy. But here's the predicament they're in. More than likely, Navy, and again, they may lose one or two non-conference games in the Commanders-in-Chief battle against Air Force, Notre Dame. They have a great chance to run the table. That gives them one spot in the championship game. I'm not even talking about the playoff. And again, that boat hasn't sailed yet, but it's leaving the dock a bit. Memphis, just to get to the championship game, if Army does what we think they could easily do, Navy's going to have to lose two games somewhere. That's assuming Memphis runs the table. Navy needs to get knocked off twice just to make the championship game. Think about that for a second. Think about this as well. One of our great sponsors, All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, not too far from where we are. It's Chevy truck season. Together, let's drive to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. If it's a new Silverado you're looking for, they have a ton of them. And you can get them for as low as 1.9% financing. No payments for 90 days. That's 3 months without a payment because your good credit deserves it. Maybe in time for tailgating at your next tailgating game. You want to drive around that beautiful Tahoe. Makes for a perfect tailgating vehicle. If you're in law enforcement, first responder, you're a healthcare worker, you work in the military. We just talked about the military. You're in the education field. You're a teacher like Zach's going to be. You're a recent graduate. You get a $500 bonus when you purchase a vehicle from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. And they have a huge pre-owned section, Jeeps and Fords, Nissans, Toyotas, cargo vans, even pre-owned Silverados. If you want to sell your vehicle, you'll get top dollar today from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. So don't miss the Chevy truck season sale. It's going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet And you can check out the great vehicles online at allstarautogroup.com. Again, we're broadcasting live today from TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. It's been a while since we've been out. We'd love to have you come on by and see us. We got giveaways going on. We got breakfast. We'll have lunch later when John Harden has his show out here. But coming up next, it's John Varlas to talk prep football and all the rain. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Fall is football at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Monday through Friday is happy hour from 3 to 6 with $1 off all draft meals, $5 off well drinks, $4.50 for house wine, and half off pretzel bites, mozzarella sticks, queso, corn dogs, and pickles. Then enjoy Friday night lights from 7 to close. Dine in and buy 12 wings and get 5 regular wings for free. Come watch college football and every pro game on the weekends. All at the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland, Town Square. Highway 70, fall is football.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not if you call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal your surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 1-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Check this out, Randy. New 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, $27,499, over $10,000 off MSRP. Hey, Ronnie, what about Renegade? New 2023 Jeep Renegade, $27,499 or $319 a month.
Hey, Ronnie, tell them about that deal on Gladiator.
2024 Jeep Gladiator, over $7,000 off and 0% for 36 months available.
Don't forget about that Ram truck deal.
2025 Ram Traceman, over $6,000 off MSRP.
Rock and Ronnie says drive past the rest and come to the best and Gossett Clutch for Jeep out Ram Fiat on the bike. Online at GossettMotorCars.net.
Hello, sports fans out there. Walker Taylor here with the Germantown and Collierville Commissary. We just celebrated our 43rd year in business, and I would like to thank our fantastic customers and especially our loyal staff. Time has flown by. We now have a second location, Poplar and Houston Levy in Collierville. Catering is a specialty of ours. 50 to 5,000, no job too small, no job too big. Full service or self-service. We also have a party room in Collierville that is great for rehearsal dinners, business meetings, you name it, we'd love to have you. Also, our barbecue party packs start at $8.75 a person. Barbecue, beans, slaw, bun sauce, including serving utensils. Especially great for tailgating with football season coming up. The commissary restaurants also believe in giving back to the community. Possibly you have been approached by somebody selling a barbecue six-pack coupon for fundraising. Cheerleading groups, church groups, anything to help a worthy cause. Holidays are near. Smoked hams and smoked turkeys will be on the pit before you know it. Come see us at Germantown and Collierville Commissary. Also check us out at commissarybarbecue.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Traffic's looking a little bit better now with that flow as they've got this right to the side on 55 northbound at Shelby coming up from South Memphis there up from South Haven. It did slow down that traffic a little bit earlier as you come up from the south. Again, it's trying to move a little bit better up through there. It's mostly rubbernecking delays. It's also trying to move better 55 across the bridge over from West Memphis. We've had nothing but problems there since early this morning. Just be careful if you have to get out and about. We see this heavy rain, the bulk of it anyway, from the storm now arriving here into the Memphis area. It could make for really dangerous driving conditions. Weimer's Jewelry, serving the Memphis area for over 40 years. No matter what the occasion is, go by and see them first. Shop local. You save a ton of money this way by going by Weimer's Jewelry first there at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Friday on this rainy Friday, but we're on location today. We're happy to be inside. As Eli said in our first segment, we were really scheduled to be outside today, which would have been pretty nice weather-wise if it wasn't raining as far as the temperature is concerned. But we are inside in the big warehouse at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. Come on by, see us, and then John Harden will have his show out here from 11 to 1. Your one-stop shop for concrete polishing and coating supplies. Instead of going to 4 or 5 different places before you can get your crew to the job site, from epoxy to decorative concrete sealers, from a 100,000 square foot warehouse to a 400 square foot garage, they have everything for you right here at TSS Supply. And we have John Varlas with us.
Greg and Eli's weekly visit with John Varlas of the Daily Memphian. Check out John's prep sports coverage and much more at dailymemphian.com. John is brought to you by Shoot 360 Memphis, where pros and preps go to get their shot on. Shoot 360 Memphis. Now here's John Varlas with Greg and Eli.
He is John Varlas, the Daily Memphian award-winning prep reporter, but so much more. You can follow him on Twitter at John Varlas and listen to him each and every Friday here with us on the program today, with us here at TSS Supply. And, it's good to be somewhere inside, John, whether it be here or maybe today, Shoot 360 Memphis.
Well, yeah, today's a perfect day to go to Shoot 360, either the Collierville location, the original, or the new one in Cordova, the 50,000 square foot giant out there on Big Orange Road. It'll be nice and warm, and you can get your shots up and get some objective feedback. I mean, Greg, there's nothing. Numbers are totally objective.
Right.
Numbers are what they are, and that's how Shoot 360 operates. They have all the data to help improve your basketball, your shooting. They have passing bays as well. They've got the full courts out there at the Cordova location, so you can actually get some run in and get some games if you want. But yeah, they're the best in the business, the best basketball skill facility that I know of. And you can do monthly memberships. You can do longer term memberships if you want. You can be a member either at Collierville or Cordova, and just give them a call. The Cordova number is 901-779-3176. The Collierville number is 901-316-5500. Shoot 360 Memphis. They'll take care of you and they will get you right.
All right, John. So Eli had the call last night of the Christian Brothers game, which was originally scheduled for Friday. They moved it to last night. Some of the other games were moved, but not a ton of them. So what is the deal with the rain tonight? How is the prep schedule going to be affected? Because it's seemingly every Friday we're dealing with rain.
Well, I don't think it's going to be affected because you can play as long as it's raining, and that's all it's going to do today is just rain. It's just going to be a nice, steady, early fall rain, and I don't think it's going to be affected any further. I think the teams that have already moved their games, I think what I'm trying to say, Greg, is I think it's probably too late to make a decision at this point. So I've seen, quite a few games that are on for tonight, according to the team's various Twitter accounts, and I know, like Munford, for example, they moved their game from last night to tonight because it was homecoming, and I guess they didn't want the court and everybody to get drenched. So, I can see something like that. But
that's Christian Brothers had homecoming, and
yeah.
I know they want to do that as much as they can on Friday because obviously a lot of these it's homecoming probably this week. I would imagine a lot of places.
Yeah, and that probably has something to do with it. But just from a football standpoint, I think as far as I know, and this can always change. It's a fluid situation out here, but as far as I know, we're good to go as scheduled with what's remaining on the schedule.
What games have been moved though?
Well, they moved the Munford game, like I said, Munford Kingsbury. They moved CBHS, obviously.
What's the deal with the Covington Fairleigh thing?
Well, that game is apparently not going to be played. Now that can be. They might decide here in a couple of hours that they're going to play the game as scheduled. They were supposed to play out there in Covington. Covington's Twitter account yesterday announced that they were canceling the game. That particular Twitter account seemed to place the lion's share of the blame on Fairleigh. Fairly responded with a tweet of their own that said, no, hey, this is what happened, and kind of painted a 180-degree different version of the story. So I don't, I wasn't there in the negotiations. I don't know what was said, but as far as I know, right now that game's not going to be played, and the TSSAA has said that if it's a weather cancellation, it's not a forfeit, it's a no contest. So the game just doesn't exist, and if that game or any other game doesn't get played tonight and doesn't get made up, then it will be a no contest.
There are plenty of games that we're going to talk about, but Greg jumped the gun here. I do want to give you your floor for your bone.
Oh, apologies.
Well, that's okay. I don't really have a bone this week. I was going to use my bone time to shout out Zach.
Bone time. I like
my
your
bone time.
Your allotted bone time. Everybody needs a little bone time in their life.
Well, yeah, and outside,
set a little bone time aside each day.
Yeah, and outside,
I'm glad you said bone time. Yes,
and outside of it being a little nippy in here, but I'm not going to complain because it is a warehouse. I mean, you're not.
It feels great in here.
You're not cold. God. You're not cold, Eli?
No, not at all. You got a long sleeve. What are you doing?
I know I'm cold.
Oh my God,
freezing in here. But no,
it's actually gorgeous in here.
I had to take my little jacket off.
I don't understand.
I got a bone with you being cold.
Well, anyway, I wanted to.
He counters your bone with his bone.
Well, I wanted to give my time to Zach, and I texted him this yesterday. But to me, in this business, in this media business, guys, and I'm certainly not including you guys in this category, but in media, you run into some guys with some egos and some attitudes. I mean, that's common all over, in any business, but Zach is the total complete opposite of that. He is the most unpretentious, selfless, down to earth kind of brother you could ever meet. And, I really enjoyed seeing him on Fridays, talking to him. And, I wish him the best in his new endeavor. He's going off to teach and help kids, hopefully have better futures and good careers of their own. And, teaching is a pretty selfless profession. So exactly. I admire him for that as well. But, me personally, I'm going to miss Zach, and I was, frankly, pretty sad when I heard the news yesterday because I don't take to change very well, and and like I said, they really don't get any better than Zach Boyd, and from me to him, and
Well, and plus with your Southwind fandom, you love wearing the Southwind gear, and you had the support of Zach as a Southwind guy.
Well, yes, but no, Zach's a great guy, and I'm certainly going to miss him, and wish him all the best. So that's what I was gonna do another reverse bone today, and I've got plenty saved up for you know me. There's no shortage of bones around here.
There'll be plenty to pick as the weeks progress.
Yeah, I'm pretty vexed right now because I'm sitting here waiting to come on, and I'm looking at my fingernails, and I did a really good job on 9 of these fingers, and somehow I've left this one, and it's gonna drive me crazy for the next 3 hours until I get home.
See, that's like I have fingernail clippers like everywhere in my life. I got some in my office.
Really?
I got some in my car.
Yeah.
I got so if I have that, I could take care of it immediately because otherwise I'll start biting it. So I have fingernail clippers to make sure that I have wherever I am. If I notice I got something screwed up, I could take care of it with clippers.
See, I'm just going to obsess about it and feel self-conscious about it, and and it's going to drive me nuts, like I said. So
speaking of fingernails,
yeah.
I've never once used clippers. I bite them all the time.
Ooh.
I bite them all the time, and then I'll rip the cuticles, and I'll bleed. They're jagged. My wife gets pissed every time. The problem is I have done something to my jaw on my left side. Like, I cannot bite right now, so my fingernails are getting longer. I got to figure out how to do those things because I've never used them one time.
You got to figure out how they're pretty simple.
Well, I don't know. Seriously, I've never clipped my fingernail ever.
I didn't get extensive lessons on how to use fingernail clippers. It's something you just figure out. Like as a child, it's like you figure it out.
As a child use these?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been clipping my fingernails for a long, long time. I don't know.
I just bite them.
It's not a product that comes with a manual.
But you could probably Google. I'm sure, like everything else, you could Google a video if you really need somebody to show you how to use fingernail clippers.
I don't know. Well, I've used it on my toenails. And again, I don't know. I don't do it well. Sometimes I'll be bleeding. I pull off the nail. It's too hard. I go too far down with the thing. I don't know. So maybe I do need a manual.
I thought your inability to swim was the craziest thing about you. The fact that you can't use clippers is unbelievable.
Oh, I just don't use them on my fingers. All right, before we talk about the games that are on the schedule for tonight, last week, shout out Coach Rodney Salisbury and Whitehaven, huge win, and we said it could happen as they knocked off Houston.
Well, biggest victory in a long time for the Tigers, because they've missed the playoffs the last 2 seasons. So you have to consider it a huge victory for them, and they really played well. They showed a lot of poise. The interesting thing about Whitehaven is, a lot of people saw that result and said, "Whoa, Whitehaven's back. Whitehaven's back." But when Whitehaven really might be back is next year, because out of their offense, they only had one senior on the field last week against Houston. So really young on the offense, but those guys played with a lot of poise. Chandler Day scored a touchdown for Houston with about 5.5 minutes left to tie the game, but then Whitehaven gets the ball back. They march it right down the field with Jaden Thomas, their junior quarterback, who was excellent. He throws the game-winning touchdown to Cameron Jackson with, I think, about 15 or so seconds left. Houston goes for a last-ditch Hail Mary that's intercepted, and, there you go, the 16-game winning streak, longest in our area and tied for the longest in the state, comes to an end. Great performance from Whitehaven, great performance from their defense. They intercepted 4 passes. They also forced a fumble, so 5 turnovers. And obviously, if you're Houston, you got to clean that up, and you're not going to win very many games at all, turning it over 5 times, especially in Region 8 6A. So, but no, hats off to Whitehaven. Are they back? I don't know. Yet they still got quite a few tough games left on the schedule. They still got to play Germantown. They play Collierville tonight. They play Bartlett to close the season. So, nothing is guaranteed right now for Whitehaven, but they're undefeated in that region, and so they're sitting pretty now. They're in pretty good shape.
I thought it was Collierville at Germantown tonight.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Whitehaven. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he said they have to play them later.
Oh, yeah, they have to play them. They have to play them later. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I apologize. Yeah, I apologize. If I said that, I apologize.
Yeah, I thought you said.
So with that loss in your Dandy does it, and this break makes our new producer very happy because he is a Covington Charger. And, of course, our buddy John from Covington.
Yeah.
You moved Covington to number 1 in the Dandy Does It.
Well, I feel like that was deserved because they were number 2 and number 1 lost. There was a major shuffling in the Dandy Dozen this week, and I did something I hate to do. I had to drop teams down that didn't actually lose in order to accommodate Houston, because I don't think Houston losing is necessarily fair to drop them, 10, 11, spots. Yeah. So I dropped them a few spots, but in order to do that, I had to push down Munford. I had to push down Southwind. I had to push down, teams that hadn't lost. So I hate to do that, but putting that Dandy Dozen together can be a pain in the.
Wait a second, why did you?
You're going to lose your hair, man. Yeah. You get so worried about putting that together.
Because Houston was already. Did Whitehaven jump up there? Is that why?
I jumped Whitehaven.
So that's why. Okay.
I jumped Whitehaven
and you kept Houston up.
So what's your top 5?
What I did was I jumped Whitehaven above Houston, but I didn't jump them above Collierville, Lausanne, or Covington, who have not lost. Whitehaven's lost. They lost to Tupelo earlier in the season.
So in order, you got 1 through 5 is what?
Covington number 1,
okay.
Lausanne number 2. Really, really interesting game for Lausanne tonight with a really good Memphis Business Academy team that not a lot of people know a lot about. That could be a potentially really good game there at Lausanne tonight. Number 3 is Collierville. They're going to play at Germantown tonight in the big region game. Number 4 is the aforementioned Whitehaven. They play Cordova tonight. I think it's homecoming out there at Whitehaven. And number 5 is Houston, and they're going on the road tonight for a really, really tough game down at Tupelo, one of the premier programs in Mississippi.
I'm assuming Memphis Business Academy, their coaches, every time they go on the road, they say it's a business trip.
They probably do that, and the interesting thing about Memphis Business Academy, Eli, is they have been on the road so far for every game this year. They've only played 1 game in Shelby County. That was against Tresvant 2 weeks ago, and that was technically a Tresvant home game. So yeah, they've yet to play a quote unquote home game. I think they will here soon after tonight. But that's a really interesting story and a really interesting program. They made the playoffs last year, kind of out of nowhere, made a good run to the 2A quarterfinals, and and they're even better this year. They've got the number 1 offense in the city, also the number 1 rushing offense in the city. They've got a player named Kamani Williams, who's a sophomore running back who's putting up monster numbers. Last week in their victory against Lexington, he had 223 rushing yards. 40 receiving yards and 6 combined touchdowns, and he's just a sophomore. But they've got some other really good guys too playing some good football over there, and it's a good story. It's the Memphis Business Academy in general, what they're doing with their athletics. Boys soccer has been extremely competitive here over the last couple of years. Girls basketball has been extremely competitive here over the last couple. They're really doing a good job building up the athletics out there in Fraser, and it's going to be like I said, it's going to be a real interesting test. Tonight at Lausanne.
Yeah, that non-region schedule tonight is pretty good. When you mentioned that matchup, Memphis Business Academy at Lausanne. You have Southwind at Melrose. You have Houston coming off the loss to South Haven, going down to play Tupelo, who's 4-0. I mean, Houston could be staring 2 straight losses in their face. And then you have the one that's apparently is not being played unless they change. And that would have been a really good matchup. Fairleigh 4-0, Covington 5-0. These are all non-region games.
Well, it would have been, and again with Fairleigh and Covington, I mean, those two teams are both ranked 3rd in the state this week in their respective classifications. Covington is 3rd in Class 3A. Fairleigh's 3rd in 2A this week. So, I mean, it would have been an interesting game. It was a great game last year. Covington won 42-38.
Wow.
So, bit of a shootout last year. But, I don't know. Like I said, they could decide here at 11 o'clock that game on and then it'll be hopefully it'll be a great game.
Yeah, hopefully they'll let the kids play.
Fairleigh actually allowed points last week, didn't they?
They did. They allowed 7 points. They also committed their first turnover, but they still managed to win the game against North Point. And again, I'm remiss too, Eli. What's complicating this Fairleigh Covington situation is Fairleigh's game in week 2 was postponed because of lightning, so they played a makeup game Monday against Kirby. And of course they won that game, and of course they shut Kirby out, so they're now 5-0. But that's complicating the fact that if you wanted to move the game tonight to last night, Thursday. Then you're asking Fairleigh to play Monday, Thursday, and is that fair? I mean, I don't.
Right, you talked about that kind of situation last week.
Right, it just leads to a lot of complications.
Yeah, 2 days off in between games.
No, that's not good.
You can't. That's ridiculous. Quite frankly, you can't be doing that. So,
no.
It's bad enough with just the 3 days, but Monday to Thursday would be crazy. We'll get into some of these other games coming up here in just a moment. This hour of our program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. BigGreenEgg.com is the website where you can get all the information about the best grill there is. You can also check them out at Ace Hardware stores around town. Hamilton Fireplace as well carries the Big Green Egg. Check out the different sizes, all the egg accessories, everything you need to know about the best grill there is and the last grill you'll ever need to buy. It is the Big Green Egg.
Broadcasting live from TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. Come on by and say hello. More with John Varlas when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa setting. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up. The world's biggest spa sale might go on forever. Family Leisure, with and run at I-40. Family and fun come together.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 5 Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Hungry for that delicious smash burger flavor? Dyer's Cafe is the original smash burger since 1912 and still smashing burgers in Collier's historic town square. Come out for their lunch specials Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. Ask about their world-famous split dog and authentic Chicago or New York dog. Try the leaner side of Dyer's with a grilled chicken sandwich or freshly made salad. Also serving Lakes Delta-raised catfish, Pasquale's tamales, and a customer favorite hand-breaded onion rings. Dyer's, serving world-famous burgers, dogs, and shakes in Collier's historic town square.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Lafayette Green Bay. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Mornings, final Friday of September, and a shout out to one of our loyal listeners. Raider Corey comes by and drops off a bag of delicious biscuits from McDonald's with cheese and bacon, and now I've taken a bite into it, and I want more of it, but I can't get to it until the top of the hour break. Thank you, Corey. Very kind of you to do that.
Yeah, I'm disappointed because I didn't realize that was Raider Corey, and I would have loved to have met him. He just kind of snuck in here and dropped the bag down, and
it's like a biscuit fairy.
It's like a stealth bomber. He got in, he zipped in, he zipped out.
It wasn't really for Greg. Greg didn't even see him. So
like,
he was literally the biscuit fairy to Greg. Greg had no idea. He woke up and asked Mom, "How'd these biscuits arrive?"
He's like,
I'm like, where did that come from? So Corey, thank you so much. My mind is on a million different
Greg's
things.
Like, what did I put under my pillow last night that a biscuit arrived?
The biscuit fairy.
Greg, I'll be honest with you. It's a good thing Raider Corey wasn't coming in here to try to kill you.
I would have been dead.
We have breakfast, by the way, for everybody that comes by from Big B Coffee. We don't have McDonald's for everybody, but we do have Big B Coffee. We got bagels. We got coffee for you folks. If you come on by and see us here at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. It is your place for all concrete finishing stuff. For you contractors out there, you don't need to worry about any place else when it comes to concrete finishing. This place has absolutely everything you could imagine. This warehouse is stocked full of stuff, and they will have everything you could possibly need.
Hey, John, what was the Bartlett result last night?
The Bartlett result was unfortunately not good for Bartlett. The final score was 34-10 in favor of Grenada.
Wow.
So that drops Bartlett down to 3-2. Yeah, I was out there for that one. It just didn't look like Bartlett was very much in sync at all. The line wasn't really doing a good job protecting Cam Alexander. They couldn't get the running game going, and Grenada had a really good player that caught my eye, and it just speaks to my theory again that anytime you see a player wearing number 1, he's going to be a player. They had this wide receiver. His last name was Cotton. I can't remember his first name, but he was like a big kid, like 6'5", like 200 pounds. Mm-hmm. He made a couple of really big plays, and I'm looking up online to see if there's any information about him, and it's like, oh yeah, he's being recruited by Ole Miss and Mississippi State, and picked up an offer from Vanderbilt yesterday. So yeah, anytime you see somebody wearing number 1, there's a chance
I think you're probably right.
Really good football player.
It is amazing.
By the way, I saw this. The AutoZone Liberty Bowl gives out their lineman of the week, and I guess their skill player. I don't know what it is, but they give out these awards each and every week.
I was hoping we could talk about your man crush on Samuel Ero.
That's what I was going to ask you about this. Oh my gosh, the picture. This guy's in high school. That's crazy.
No,
so how good is this guy?
He's really good. And it's interesting. So Max Preps, it's interesting. So not every school in the nation, of course, reports their stats to Max Preps.
Right.
But of the ones who do, Samuel Ero has the most sacks of anybody in the country. He's got 13 sacks through the first 5 games. He's off to a tremendous start, having a tremendous season. And I went out and interviewed him and got to meet him a little bit, Greg, a couple of weeks ago. And, yeah, he's jacked, man. Coach Riccone said he might be the best athlete on the team. You know, clearly one of the strongest guys on the team, but he's super athletic as well. You know, and his numbers obviously are bearing that out. So I'm eager to see him play tonight against Germantown. Germantown's got a really, really good offensive line, but you know, yeah, Ero's been tremendous this year, and I thought it was really funny that you got a little bit of a man crush.
Oh
there.
yeah, is he a senior?
He is a senior.
Is he being recruited by every good program in the country?
I don't think he's being recruited.
Oh, come on.
I don't think he's being recruited by the P5s.
What?
If I'm wrong, you know, somebody at Collierville, please correct me on
P4s.
that. But, yeah, P4s. I apologize. Yeah, so correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I don't think I haven't seen, at least he hasn't posted any, you know, big offers or anything like that. So it may be a diamond in the rough.
Yes.
No, yeah, the kid can play. And he, you know, clearly looks the part. I mean,
he definitely looks the part.
He's a physical specimen.
What do you expect to happen in Collierville, Germantown?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, that game last year was a low-scoring, you know, 14-7 game won by Germantown. I mean, I think it's going to be decided up front, and you know, kind of the opposite of what the Houston game was, where you know Germantown I think was able to do some things because they had a significant size advantage up front. I don't think that's going to be the issue with Collierville. I think Collierville can probably match them a little bit better up front with size and physicality. You know, I think it'll probably come down to quarterback play. You know, Grant Troutman at Collierville and Mekhi Robbins at Germantown, they've both been really solid this year. They're both first-year starters. So I think it's going to come down to quarterback play, who makes the fewest mistakes on what's obviously going to be a sloppy turf out there at Germantown. You know, it may be another low-scoring game that could favor Collierville, but I mean, who knows? I mean, in that region, Greg and Eli, it's going to be so. I mean, I describe it as musical chairs. I mean, I think right now, you know, unfortunately, Cordova, White Station, and Arlington are probably on the outside looking in, but those other 5 teams, you know, they're competing for 4 spots, and it's going to, you know, when the music stops, you know, which one of them is going to be left standing up? That's going to be really, really interesting.
Real quick, we got about a minute. Two more games. Briarcrest, didn't they get a big win last week? They're at Nashville. Father Ryan. I know Father Ryan's pretty good. Did they get a chance there?
They beat Knoxville Catholic last week, and Knoxville Catholic was ranked 5th in the state at the time of the game, so that was a huge win for Briarcrest. Hudson Tucker, J.D. Donaldson, Darren McFadden's son Darius had a 91-yard touchdown run in that one. So, yeah, Briarcrest is playing some good ball, and they, you know, with Christian Brothers and MUS, you know, struggling a little bit, you know, maybe this year, maybe a little down from their normal excellent state. I mean, you know, Briarcrest might be the team to beat in that region, but obviously we'll see because they still haven't played each other yet.
And remind me next Friday, Eli will be off to ask you about the Darius McFadden thing, and the whole connection to Memphis and all that. Because when I heard about this about a week ago, it's like McFadden, Memphis. What's the connection? And then real quick, Bolton, 4-1 on the year versus Hamilton. The resurgence of Bolton.
Bolton, I mean, Coach C.J. Marshall is doing a really, really good job out there at Bolton, and that's a program that, you know, certainly it's not going to be like a destination school if you have a talented player and you're looking to transfer and you're looking for, you know, the cream of the crop facilities and things like that. I mean, you know, Bolton is kind of doing it the old-fashioned way. They kind of take what they have in the building and they've turned it into a really, really good competitive football team. When Coach Marshall got that job a few years ago, he was the youngest coach in our area. I don't think he's even 30 years old yet.
Oh, geez.
Wow. But, yeah, he's doing a tremendous job out there. They've already got, you know, some good wins there in Region 8 3A, and they're going to be, you know, certainly in the mix for the playoffs.
Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. John, stay dry tonight. Of course, John will have you covered at the Daily Memphian. Follow him on Twitter at John Varlas for all the scores, all the updates, all the stats. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, guys. Thank you again, Zach Boyd, and be well, my friend.
Go clip that fingernail.
It's gonna. I'm telling you, it's gonna drive me nuts for the next 3 hours.
I love it. I know exactly what you're.
Yep.
I know the feeling that you're going through. There's no doubt about that. Genesis Diamonds, Over at Poplar and Perkins Extends where you'll find them. That's where you can find everything, all your jewelry needs taken care of in one place with amazing selection, line after line of jewelry that nobody else in Memphis has, top designers, all the latest, hottest, newest stuff from those top designers. Amazing selection, great prices. They got direct importer pricing. So they give you great value, so you can get more bang for your buck. Plus, they got a great staff to help you pick out whatever that perfect piece of jewelry it is. Engagement rings, earrings, whatever, necklace, the pre-owned Rolex watches, everything you can imagine. Great staff to help you pick out that perfect thing for yourself or for that special someone. That's what you'll find at Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Eli's Cowboys pick up a win last night. Didn't look great in doing so. We'll start hour 2 talking some NFL. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Contractor and you need concrete coating and supplies in Memphis fast, and you get this answer? I think we can order that stuff, but you're going to have to wait a few days for delivery. Why wait? Get your concrete coatings and supplies now at TSS Supply, where everything you need is in stock. If you're working in the tri-state Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi area, everything you need for concrete coating is at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road, Memphis. TSS Supply specializes only in concrete coatings and supplies all in one place. If you're looking for a particular item, need large quantities, or just have general questions, call 901-729-0565, 729-0565, or you can email your question to Brad at tsssupply.com. The friendly, knowledgeable folks at TSS Supply have over 150 years combined experience in concrete coatings, materials, and supplies. Contractors, are you in town for a job or getting ready to do a job for a customer during their holiday shutdown? Then you should visit TSS Supply for your concrete coatings and supplies. Why wait for materials when TSS Supply has everything you need in stock and they can get it to you today or within 24 hours? TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Need good food fast? You need 901 Eats to Go in Bartlett. Meat in 2 sides. Chicken wings and tenders, cheeseburgers, Philly cheesesteak, even catfish, plus sides and drinks. 901 Eats to Go has everything you want when you want it at prices you can afford. Call 901-417-8232. Pick up, DoorDash, Uber Eats, or online at 901eats.com. That's Eats with a Z. Delicious and convenient. 901 Eats to Go. 3135 Kirby Wooden Road in Bartlett. Good food fast.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It's been a struggle trying to get across the bridge over here on 55 coming over from West Memphis. It started off early this morning with some earlier problems. It is looking a little bit better where we had that crash South Memphis on 55 northbound. They're up by Shelby. You still got a lot of traffic volume coming up from not only DeSoto County but up through South Haven as well. Heavy rain out here in certain areas. Please give yourself extra time. Slow it down. Weimer's Jewelry located 7525 Highway 64 is your full service, family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. Go by and see them this weekend. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports 56. 96, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with Dave Woloshin, weekday mornings from 10 to 11.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Despite the rain, we're having a good old time because we're out of the studio. We're out of the facility. We are on the road today. It's nice to get out there and stretch our legs and have a good old time. And when folks like Raider Corey stop by, that's always something that brightens our day to see our loyal listeners and friends that have been with us for a long time. So please stop by and see us at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. We'll be here for another 2 hours. And then John Harden from 11 to 1. Eli will give you all the details and the freebies that you can win and all that in just a moment. Currently it's 64. It's going to get to 66. That's it temperature-wise, but an all-day rain affair and heavy rain at times. We're looking at the possibility of some flooding, so be very careful. That rain will continue into tonight and then into the overnight hours. And then there's about a 40% chance on Saturday for rain. But hopefully as the day progresses, it will start to dissipate. And for the Tigers game, which will kick off at 6:30 tomorrow at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium versus Middle Tennessee State, it will be dry. At least we got our fingers crossed about that. Hour 2 of the program brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick, and on the web at gaddisjewelers.com. They're full-service jewelers with 2 bench jewelers ready to serve you. And if you're looking for that special engagement ring, that's the place to go. All their diamonds are independently graded and certified. They know there's a lot of competition out there, so they make sure they have a price point to suit everyone's budget. Every Monday and Friday, they bring you the Memphis Sports Fact. Did you know that the Blue and Gray Showcase, which was announced yesterday, will be the tip-off event of the basketball season, although the Memphis Tigers men and women are underway with practices, but this will be the tip-off event for the public. It'll be October 4th, so it's a week from today. It'll be at El Marone Fieldhouse. It is open to University of Memphis students and the general public. Free tickets, and they can be claimed starting right now. Yes, 8 o'clock this morning. That's when you can start to claim those tickets for next Friday. There'll be a live stream, by the way, of the event for everybody else who's not going to make it out there to watch. But it's kind of the Memphis Madness type deal. That'll be at El Marone Fieldhouse for both the Memphis men and the Memphis women. Again, hour number 2 brought to you by the great folks at James Gaddis Jewelers. So again, Eli, we're here at TSS Supply, and we got a lot going on.
That's right. You can come on by and see us. 5665 East Rains Road is where they are located. It's everything you need when it comes for concrete finishing, concrete polishing, coating supplies, whatever it is. Oftentimes, you may have to try and go 3-4 different places to get everything you need. Well, not when you come here. You can get it all in one place. From epoxy to decorative concrete sealers, whatever it is, you contractors, this is your place. Heck, they'll even ice up your cooler for you before you head out to the job site. And that's, you talk about going next level with your service. That's next level.
How about if you're just going to go out and tailgate?
Well, I don't know about that.
Will they do that for you?
I don't know. I'm not sure if you could just come by here and get ice for that. I have no idea.
Well, if you purchase something,
you'll have to talk to Brad. We'll ask Brad that a little bit later on, I guess. I don't know. But they've got supplies, materials in stock all the time. Again, this warehouse is absolutely slam-packed with everything that you need. If you come on by and see us, you can enjoy some breakfast. Big B Coffee has provided us some bagels and some coffee for breakfast for y'all. We'll have Baby Jack's Barbecue here for lunch when John Harden will be out here from 11 to 1 doing his show. You could stop by between now and 1 o'clock. Register to win. We're giving away 4 tickets for the Tigers MTSU game tomorrow. Also 4 tickets for the Tigers' next home game, which will be against North Texas on October the 19th. So we've got 2 4-packs of tickets that we'll be drawing for just before 1 o'clock when John wraps up out here. So you can come on by, drop your name in the registration box, and have a chance to win those. Did get a text here on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line from Raider Corey, who again stopped by, and he said I couldn't stay in chat because I had a meeting to attend. But he says, kudos to Ed Scott. Very transparent display, and hopefully the ones who were upset now understand better.
Absolutely. And again, I cannot be more impressed with Ed Scott. Just to listen to him to be so direct in answering questions. He's not afraid to come right back at you. He is transparent. I think Memphis got a winner. I really, really do. And again, he said he got some nasty messages about not accepting the deal, but we both agree, and obviously Corey and others do, that they made the right decision, at least for the time being, although some people will not, they won't buy it. They still believe that they should have left no matter what. All right, last night, week number 4 of the NFL season kicked off with the Cowboys and the Giants in what was, I can't believe I stayed up and watched almost an entire game. It was just a crap game. I was waiting for a couple things to hit on plays, and they did not. We had the Giants with 5 field goals. Cowboys did enough offensively to win to improve to 2-2. Giants fall to 1-3. Bunch of injuries. Some serious injuries. Parsons goes down. Diggs was hurt. Neighbors got a concussion. Some big names.
Yes, certainly. Micah Parsons and Malik Neighbors, chief among that. Parsons apparently has a high ankle sprain. X-rays were negative. He's going to have an MRI today. Obviously, you have the little extra time off having played on Thursday, but have to see what his status will be. And then you have Malik Neighbors gets the concussion. He is, and I mean, that dude, I loved him coming in. Like, he's going to be a problem. Like, he's good. He is really, really good. LSU just continues to produce these darn receivers who get to the NFL and are just absolutely awesome. But, man, he is going to be so good.
Well, we got to watch the Giants' Hard Knocks, and they made the right call with Neighbors. So
just wait till he gets a quarterback.
I thought Jones threw the ball well last night for the most part. He had a couple that were low, but that was because the rush was right in on him. I thought he threw the ball pretty well. I thought there were a couple of balls that could have been caught and a few others that were good. I don't think he was that bad last night. They just couldn't finish in the red zone. They were getting field goals.
The big thing for the Cowboys was the fact that their defense stopped the run. Now, again, I said this yesterday. It's a little different when it's Devin Singletary rather than Saquon Barkley in the past with the Giants. They had 26 yards on 24 carries running the football after the Cowboys have been just absolutely roasted the last 2 weeks in the running game. I don't know what this means as far as that is concerned. They've got the Steelers coming up next. But yeah, it was at least nice to see them stop the run last night. But if Parsons has to miss any extended time, and then you had DeMarcus Lawrence was also out there. So at the end of that game, they got Parsons and Lawrence both out. And it's funny, and I feel bad for bettors out there. If you bet the Cowboys minus the 5.5, Brandon, literally, like it broke. You had to have a record streak broken for them not to cover, with Brandon Aubrey missing the 51-yard field goal. First time he'd ever missed from over 50 yards after having made 16 straight. So I feel horrendous for you if you had the Cowboys. Now, if you had the Giants, great for you. But, like, Aubrey just doesn't miss, and to miss that field goal that would have covered is crazy.
And who knew that Aubrey and Post Malone have this great relationship?
Yeah, it's
where did that come from?
Post Malone is a weird.
I love his music.
He's one I'll never quite get. I'm not into his music. I don't get him. I don't understand him.
More face tats, Post Malone or Jelly Roll?
I have no idea.
Has anybody counted them up?
I've never counted them. But Brandon Aubrey, he made the 60-yarder earlier in the game. It is really, like, insane what he's doing. Like, the guy didn't play it's football in college.
And it's like nonchalant the way he kicks it.
Goes to the USFL with Birmingham, and now is like the best kicker in the NFL. Like, the dude has unlimited range. I still believe if the situation works out correctly, they will let him try a 70-yarder. And if it's indoors, I think 70 yards is certainly within his range. His leg is incredible, and he's just it's like it literally becomes so like when he missed that last night, I was like dumbfounded because it was a bad kick, like it was almost like a shank. Like in every other, like normally when he kicks it, it is literally right down the middle. Like if the goalposts were 5 feet wide, you feel like he would make it every single time. And like when he kicked, I was like, oh my God. And then I'm like, oh God, that would have covered the spread. I was like, oh Lord, that is a rough beat for him to miss a field goal for you not to win your bet.
Well, I didn't play the game itself, the 5.5, so there wasn't any stake for me. So I went to bed right before Aubrey missed the field goal. So I read in the morning, just a couple hours ago, that they had a Hail Mary shot there at the end.
Well, yeah, that's the thing with, and Herb Street talking about when you have so much confidence in your kicker. In that situation, you try a 51-yard field goal because you consider you feel like it's automatic. Again, he had never missed a field goal over 50 yards in his career. He was 16 for 16. But then he misses it. Now, while there was only whatever, I don't know what there was, 40 seconds left or whatever, you're giving them the ball at the 41-yard line. So they're immediately like in Hail Mary range.
Right.
They had ran a couple of plays, and then, they heaved it up there, and it was intercepted down at about the 5-yard line. But, it became nervous time then. Like, oh, wait a second. Thought this game was wrapped up. And now it's like, oh, wait. Like, now they've got the ball with a chance to go do something here. Now, granted, they didn't have elite neighbors, which was a big help for the Cowboys. But, again, the Cowboys were without DeMarcus Lawrence or Micah Parsons at that time. So you're thinking, oh, God, this would be an absolute disaster if suddenly somehow the Giants figure out a way to win this game. But, yeah, it was much better defensively. The offense, not so much. Although, the easiest bet in the world, and I told everybody this last week, all you had to do was bet CeeDee Lamb over catches, over yards, which is the only thing I bet in the game. That's all you had to do. Could have bet a touchdown with him. I didn't want to mess with that. Here, all you got to do is, this is a simple theory. I tell you, don't bet the NFL. There's one thing I believe you can bet in the NFL and be very confident in those bets. Anytime one of the top line receivers complains about not getting the ball enough,
right,
bet over everything the next week. They're going to throw it to him. It's clockwork. They're not going to continue to ignore receivers of that caliber when they complain. So, week 2 of the season this year, Amon-Ra St. Brown, after he did nothing in week 1, bet him over catches, over yards. He was done at halftime. Last night, CeeDee Lamb, last week complained. Bet him over catches, over yards. He was over yards in the first half. He needed one more catch in the second half. He got that. If you get one of these receivers who complains about not getting the ball, the next week just bet over in catches, over in yards. You will be a winner.
I think that's a great point. I wish you had said it on the show yesterday because I went in a different direction and lost my plays. So here's what else is happening this week, week 4 in the NFL. The Steelers at my Colts. The Steelers a 1.5-point road favorite. These are all Sunday games, and then we'll have 2 on Monday. Broncos and the Jets. The Jets a 7.5-point favorite. The Vikings and the Packers in Green Bay. Green Bay is a 3-point favorite over Minnesota. Any word yet on whether Jordan Love steps back into the fold?
I believe they're listing him as a game-time decision, if I'm not mistaken, was the latest thing. I'm guessing he's going to play, but I don't know.
Malik Willis, 2-0, though, has become a cold hero in Green Bay as the starting quarterback. Falcons host the Saints. Falcons a 2.5-point favorite. The Eagles are a 2-point favorite on the road at Tampa. Of course, they went to New Orleans and won. We'll try to win in Tampa. And haven't heard word yet on whether or not there's any change in the schedule with the time because of the storm. But the storm is now out of the area. It's just a matter of how bad that area was hit. The Bengals and the Panthers in Cincinnati make that in Carolina. Cincinnati's a 4.5-point road favorite. Texans will host the Jags. They're a 6-point favorite. The Bears are a 3-point favorite as they host the Rams in Chicago. Cardinals and the Commanders in the desert. Arizona's a 3.5-point favorite. The 49ers a 10.5-point favorite over the Patriots. Both teams 1-2. And still no word on Christian McCaffrey. Long term, this is not good.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's on injured reserve, so there's no. I mean,
he can't play the first 4,
he's not playing this week. But he, I don't know where he stands. Obviously, he made the trip over to Germany to see the specialist over there. I don't know when we might see him. Obviously, they've got all kinds of injury issues with that team. But yeah, McCaffrey, certainly they need to try and figure out a way to get him healthy and get Debo healthy and Kittle healthy and all of that. That's asking a lot of Brock Purdy right now. I don't know that you could count on Juwan Johnson going off every single week.
Raiders at home against the Browns, a 2-point favorite is Las Vegas. Chargers and the Chiefs, that's in Los Angeles. Kansas City, a 7-point road favorite. And then your Sunday night game, the Ravens and the Bills, that should be a good one. The Ravens coming off the win in Dallas. They're now 1-2. The Bills undefeated at 3-0. Baltimore, a 2.5-point favorite over the undefeated Bills. Your doubleheader on Monday night. The Titans and the Dolphins. 0-3 versus 1-2. Miami, a 1-point favorite. And then Detroit hosts Seattle with the Lions, a 3.5-point favorite in that one. Baseball last night, the Yankees clinched the AL East as they drilled the Orioles. It was only a matter of time. And the Dodgers beat the Padres. They clinch the NL West. In that Yankees win, Aaron Judge hit number 58. So still has a chance, 3 games, to hit 2 more to get to 60. The Dodgers win, but Freddie Freeman was in a, what was he, on crutches or on a walking boot after the game?
Yeah, he had an ankle injury. They say it's not serious. Expected to be ready for the playoffs.
And we still got the battle going on for the wild cards. Of course, the whole craziness in the National League with the Braves and the Mets and the Storm having to move those games to Monday if necessary. More than likely they will. Meanwhile, the American League, Detroit, they keep winning. Detroit wins. Kansas City wins. I believe Seattle won. And Minnesota, did they end up losing that game last night?
Yeah, Minnesota lost. So the Royals and Tigers,
they're just about in
there.
They're
3 up with 3 to play, so they either need 1 win or 1 loss by the Twins and Seattle. So, yeah, it's pretty much going to be the Royals and Tigers. Those 2 are tied, so deciding which is 2, which is 3 among the wild cards, that's still to be decided, but the Royals and Tigers are pretty much in.
Yeah, not a surprise. Kansas City, maybe a bit of a surprise. Detroit, where they were, to be able to come back like they did. Of course, helped by Minnesota and their slump the last month and a half, whatever it is. Seattle, of course, had the big lead over Houston. At one point, it was a 10-game lead, and then the Astros just passed them by with ease, and Seattle's going to be on the outside looking in as well. Folks, I want to tell you about Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. A lot of rain, that means a lot of leaks, unfortunately.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Mitsubishi's final days of summer sales event is about to be gone, so you better hurry to Gossip Mitsubishi on the Pike. Get 42 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,930 or $299 a month. 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, we Gossip at $27,245 or $349 a month. And get 420 total range MPGE and 2024 Outlander PHEV, $32,750 or $390 a month. Plus, you'll never go wrong with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossip Mitsubishi today at 1870 Covington Pike and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com. That's Gossip Mitsubishi on the Pike.
If you want it, we got it at Gossip Motor Cars.
14,767, MSRP 18,430, Eclipse RZO 65,450, MSRP 28,745, PHEV RZO 66681, MSRP 42,750, includes all rebates and incentives, $1,095 acquisition fee, 25 cents per mile, excess wear and tear, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
It's football season, and nothing goes better with Game Time Eats than chicken wings. It's a tradition like no other, but not just any wings. It's the seasoning that makes the chicken wing. And nobody does it better than the Crazy Coop at 7199 Stage Road, west of Appling, and soon coming to downtown Memphis. Over 32 mouth-watering secret sauces and counting, like the jalapeno cheddar and the barbecue bacon bourbon. And don't bother asking them for the secret recipes. No matter how large your tailgating is or the family at home, kick off your game day with Crazy Coop party packs plus special bulk prices. Visit crazycoopstage.com to customize your wings and sauces. Whole wings, boneless
Cash wins. Try the Crazy Hot Suicide if you dare. Add Parmesan fries and fried dill pickles. And don't forget the carrots and celery sticks. For the full menu, which includes juicy burgers, catfish fillets, chicken nuggies, and crazy kid meals, go to crazycoopstage.com. That's crazycoopstage.com. You'd be crazy not to visit the coop.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Starting to develop some volume here in the last few minutes on 40 westbound as you come in from Fayette County into Shelby County, working your way down the interstate here on 40 westbound at Germantown Parkway all the way to Sycamore View Road, just about to finish up that wreck we had earlier on 55 northbound at Shelby there in South Memphis. Been out there for quite some time with this rain. Please give yourself extra time. Hey, don't miss the Paul Prince Party. It's tomorrow at the Humane Society, Memphis, Shelby County. Take a tour, meet some of the animals. That's tomorrow. Log on at memphishumane.org for all the details. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Now, back to Sports 56 Mornings.
Isn't it a lovely morning?
On Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:27 is the time. Just about halfway home on this Friday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy on location today from TSS Supply at 5665 East Rains Road. Zach Boyd alongside Elijah Seegers will be taking over for Zach today. Is Zach's last day, so make sure to text or email Zach. And if you don't follow him on Twitter, follow him. He's going to become a teacher. He's going to continue, though, in the sports world as he works with visiting teams that come in to play the Grizzlies. So you'll see him at FedEx Forum. But what a job he's done for the last 5 years. And Elijah Seegers will take over as our producer. I know we went off the air when I was talking about Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. Just wanted to mention again, for all your roofing and home repair needs, call Brandon McCullough, locally owned and operated company, 901-438-5084, or go online to newroofmemphis.com.
We are at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. You can come on by and see us. Register to win 4 tickets for the Tigers game tomorrow, or the 4 tickets for the Tigers game, the next home game, which will be against North Texas on October 19th. All you can do is drop your name in the box. We've got bagels and coffee here from Big B Coffee for you for breakfast. We'll have Baby Jack's Barbecue for lunch later on, as John Harden will be out here. It is your one-stop shop for concrete polishing and coating supplies. Instead of going to 4 or 5 places before you can get your crew to the job site, all you need is one stop right here, TSS Supply. Whether it's a 100,000 square foot warehouse or a 400 square foot garage, they've got everything you can imagine, and they will even ice your coolers for you so they make sure you get to the job site very quickly and get that job done on time.
Time to talk some Grizzlies who open up camp on Tuesday. Media Day is this Monday. And Parker Fleming has covered the Grizzlies now for a number of years. You can follow him on Twitter at Paca_Flocka. He joins us now on the program. Parker, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. And, you said that, training camp starts on Tuesday, media day on Monday. And my gosh, Greg, it's been a long off season. Because technically, we're used to the off season starting about like mid-May, but off season started in mid-April. It's been a long one, but I'm glad that all this talk that we've had in the off season and technically preseason, it's all about to come to fruition. We're about to kind of see how everything is going to shape out. And I'm so excited. So excited, obviously, to be talking here with you, Greg, especially on Zach's last day. I'm going to miss Zach, but he's going to do great stuff as a teacher.
It feels like the off season started at like the All-Star break.
Yes.
It was the actual off season was in April, but it started to seem long before that.
Yeah, I know it was bad for the players themselves and the coaches and everybody in the organization, but the fans must have felt gypped, Parker, and the media that had to still cover that team, which was not that team. It was a minor league team, basically. It was the hustle. It was a G League team. It's unfortunate, just the problems. But let's put that in the rearview mirror. Let's think positive. And certainly the news from earlier this week of Derrick Rose means that there's now 2 roster spots. One has to be filled because you have to carry at least 14. First of all, give me your thoughts on Derrick Rose, who, of course, came to Memphis back in 2008 for that incredible run to the national championship game in his one season as a Tiger, and then one season with the Grizzlies as he closes out his career. I guess that's, he comes full circle, if you will. But your thoughts on Derrick and what you think the Grizzlies may do.
Yeah, just quick thoughts on Derrick. The dude is one of the most electrifying players of our time, at least of the early 2010 or late 2000s, early 2010s. And, he's a guy that we've obviously followed since the Memphis Tiger days. And obviously everyone, when he retired, it's like, oh, what if? But I think something that he needs to get more credit for was a lot of these, you see stars where, sometimes it's like they're not the guy anymore and they can't adjust and their career ends sooner than they would like, sooner than other people would like. But he accepted in his, technically what would have been his prime, that he's like, hey, I'm going to be a sixth man. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. I'm going to be a good vet. I'm going to pass my knowledge down to these young guys. And especially that was his role in Memphis, was to be a veteran presence for the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that, in the 2022-2023 season, towards the end of the season, they kind of showed hey, they could use a little bit of a veteran presence, and Derrick Rose provided just that. And as for the Grizzlies, man, they have options. Obviously, people are going to point to the backup point guard position. I'm sure we are going to talk about that, but they have options, and it kind of boils down to is their best option going to go chase somebody in free agency, or is it just promote from within and give Scottie Pippen Jr. a promotion?
Well, and that's the thing, obviously you have that, but you don't have to rush into that because you can play him some games and kind of give him a more full audition, I guess. And that, what would you like to see them do with that spot?
Yeah, I wrote about it on Substack Elitist, and I think Scottie Pippen Jr. gives them the most value beyond next season. I think if you're trying to maximize that 14th spot for next season and beyond, it's Scottie Pippen Jr. And frankly, I was on the phone talking to Sean Coleman yesterday. It's this is the 14th spot, or it's about free agents that are free agents right now. And, these guys are, if we're going to be real, they're free agents for a reason at this stage of free agency. Yeah. There's a reason why they're free agents with days before training camp. And so it's kind of tough to get excited, but I understand the appeal with a guy like Markelle Fultz. But my issue with Markelle Fultz is the shooting isn't good enough to where he can play next to Ja. And also too, he has his share of injury history, which, has played him in his promising young career. And, but also at the same time, it's like, okay, well, if something happens to Jaws or something happens to Marcus Smart and you need backup point guard minutes, there's Markelle Fultz. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you have 50 games of Scottie Pippen Jr. Like, would you rather continue to see what Scottie Pippen Jr. has or really kind of have Markelle Fultz for a year? Like, it's kind of something you got to outweigh. It's like, do you want to maximize your value beyond next season as well, or are you trying to go more all in this season? And I think that's something the Grizzlies got to weigh, especially with the options that are out there right now.
Well, let me ask you this, because Eli's point's well taken. With Scotty, you don't have to rush. You have the games that you can play him, and then, of course, go back and forth with South Haven. But you have to fill a 14th spot on that roster. So somebody has to be signed. Is there the possibility that, okay, they're thinking, we're going to have Scotty, and then we could do something later in the season and give him the full deal, the full roster spot if we feel he is worthy of it. So let's do something outside of the point guard realm. Is there another position? I know they're kind of loaded on that wing. G.G. Jackson hurt to start the season, but he'll be back before too long. The center position's interesting because you're depending on the rookie, and then they picked up the two-way guy, what's his name?
Huff.
Jay Huff.
Yeah, Jay Huff. Is there another position that they could target for that 14th spot to open the season? What about Baycott, who's going to be in camp?
I mean, I don't think they'll promote Baycott from a Exhibit 10 to a main roster spot. I just don't see that. I think it's more. And I don't think this would happen either. Like, I think it's more likely they would promote Jay Huff than give him a spot. But I mean, the big man spot's interesting because Jay Huff, he's like a 27-year-old two-way guy, and I think the thing that's really cool is if you kind of look at how they've approached the two-way spot, they've identified guys that they're likely going to be in the G League. Knock on wood, they'll be in the G League because of health reasons. Obviously, if they're not with the G League, it's usually a health thing. And they should help the hustle. They should continue to grow with the hustle. But at the same time, they have identified guys. Even two of these guys are multi-year two-way guys. And then you have Cam Spencer, who's a 4 or 5 year college player. Their two-way guys are ready to step onto an NBA floor right now. And, with the season that they've had last season, you're not building a 15-man roster, you're building an 18-man one. And that's how I think the Grizzlies have approached it. So it kind of brings back to Eli's point. What's the rush on Scottie Pippen Jr. when you could just sign somebody right now, and then continue to maximize that spot and that contract that you have with Scottie Pippen Jr. But other positions that need, I like Robert Covington. I think he isn't as washed as his numbers in with the Clippers last year indicate. And frankly, he's a guy who could play 3, 4, and 5. So he's an emergency for either position. He still generates steals and blocks at a high level. He's a season removed from shooting 37%, and he's a vet. He's a vet that has been deep in the playoffs before, and I think that still has value. Granted, and then you go into the season, G.G. Jackson's out, and you're like, okay, do we play Robert Covington, or do we continue to see what Jake LaRavia has, who has built a lot of good momentum this season? So it's one of those dynamics. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the 14th roster spot. If you're trying to depend on the 14th roster spot this much, then something's going wrong.
That's true.
Yeah.
But if
Parker,
they were to go anything other than backup point guard, go get another big wing with size that can play either 3, 4, or pinches of the 5.
Parker, do you know, and I need to try and look this up. I've tried a little bit, but I couldn't find it. If you don't carry the full 15 guys, there is a different limit on how many games your two-way guys can play. Mm-hmm. They don't all get the 50. Do you know what that rule is?
Yeah, so I do. I want to say, so from the start of the season, it'd be 50. So Jay Huff, Cam Spencer, Scottie Pippen Jr., they had 50 games to play on their two-way contracts. And if throughout the season play, let's say that Pippen gets promoted and they sign another two-way guy, it's two-thirds of the remaining season left. So,
but if you don't carry a full 15-man roster, you don't get 50 out of all three of your spots. It's a different number. I don't know what that is, but I know you don't get the full 50 unless you're carrying a full 15-man roster to begin with.
I did not know that. I'll have to explore.
Yeah, there is some. So the teams can't kind of beat the system by saying we're just going to use our two-way guys. Basically, and I know I don't know what it is, but I know there is a reduction a little bit in your two-way games if you don't have a full 15-man roster.
That is good to know. I did not know that. But yeah, teams have worked around it before. I mean, the Boston Celtics are a team that very often uses keeps an open roster spot just in case, because they're always a buyout market team, and the Lakers try to keep an open roster spot. But then again, they're not relying on two-way guys as much as the Grizzlies have the past year or so. So, hopefully also too, I hope that we're not to a point where we're getting maxed out on two-way play, because hey, let's be positive. If Scottie Pippen Jr. cracks a healthy rotation, that's a good thing, and then you have that open roster spot to convert him. But also at the same time, if you're getting to the point of maximizing your two-way games early, then there's something going wrong health-wise. So that's another thing too.
Yeah, and the only reason I bring it up is the idea of how long you could wait on Scottie Pippen Jr. Would be the only reason hopefully that would be the only reason that would ever even matter. Would be the number of games he could play before you have to put him onto a regular contract if you want.
I mean, they may just go ahead, Parker.
I was just going to say it, and I think this is something that the Golden State Warriors have done. Like, maybe they have these two open roster spots, and let's say, hey, we're going to sign Markelle Fultz. I'm just saying names. Markelle Fultz, Doug McDermott to, excuse me, let's say you're signing them to, non-guaranteed deals that become non-guaranteed before opening night. Almost going to create a competition where it's like, okay, Scottie Pippen Jr. is out playing Markelle Fultz. Maybe we should go ahead and promote him. And then, oh, wait, this young guy from another roster got cut from his main roster deal, and he's still two-way eligible. Let's go get him on a two-way. Get him with the hustle to kind of see what we're working with here and go from there. After all, that's how the Grizzlies got Scottie Pippen Jr. last year. Was he was cut by the Lakers, and he was on the South Bay Lakers, no two-way contract. Yep. And when they promoted Vince Williams Jr., they scooped up Scottie Pippen Jr., and we've seen the value of that thus far.
Right. And I'm going to belabor the point just one more time, is they may just be enamored with Scottie Pippen Jr. So we could see, I wouldn't be shocked in the camp. They go, no, we're promoting Scottie Pippen Jr. He's going to be the 14th man on our roster, and then we'll hold off on the 15th and see what happens as the season progresses. So that's always a possibility too, because they may be in love with the guy. Look, we like him. We think he's very good. They may be enamored with the guy. So we'll see what happens with that. Let me ask you this before we let you go. Very quickly, give me 2 or 3 storylines that you think are going to be important in camp, and then obviously during the preseason aspect of the season before we get rolling for real.
Yeah, I won't say any of the big three, because obviously, we want to see what John Morant looks like. We want to see the big three on the floor. That's obvious. Another obvious one, we want to see how Zach Edey looks out there. Because, for me, I think Zach Edey will be better than Bismack Biyombo and Xavier Tillman. No shade at either player. I think his size allows you to do different things than what those two guys provided. But also, too, the Grizzlies were 6-3 with a center rotation of Xavier Tillman and Bismack Biyombo when John Morant played. So, how good is Zach Edey? Because that's going to determine a lot. But also, I am enamored with figuring out the Marcus Smart fit. Because I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about his fit with the Grizzlies. But because of his size, and yes, that could be an issue, but also we're talking about a guy that's been one of the most positionless role players on great teams of the past 5, 6, 7 years, Everyone's in him, oh, the Bruce Browns of the world, the Josh Harts. Marcus Smart is better than both those guys and provides a lot of the same stuff. He doesn't rebound like Josh Hart, but the dude's one of the most versatile guard defenders in the entire league. And last year, his defensive metrics were on par with his Defensive Player of the Year numbers. And not to go too deep into the numbers, but everyone's overblowing the point guard stuff. And, Greg, let me just rattle this off to you. Last year, with Marcus Smart running point guard, with Zaire Williams on the floor, the Grizzlies were a minus 9.1 net rating. They were getting beat by 9 points per 100 possessions. With Marcus Smart at point guard without Zaire Williams, plus 3.4 point differential per 100 possessions. That is a 12.5 point swing based off one player who's no longer on the team being in and out of the game. And they were almost, and those lineups almost had the same split of possessions. I want to say with Zaire Williams was 427, without Zaire Williams was 415. So, like,
that's pretty incredible.
Are we just kind of mislabeling the context here? Like, if you're telling me, hey, Marcus Smart and Desmond Bain, and even guys that showed they could be good playmakers and even better as third playmakers with Luke Kennard and Vince Williams, you're telling me that Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain, and one of Vince Williams and Luke Kennard cannot handle 14 minutes a night in the regular season without John Moran on the floor?
Oh, yeah, that's like I've said that all along. Like, that's when Derrick Rose was still on the team, and I said, I don't see how Derrick Rose would possibly play because I don't think there's any, when we talk about rotations, I'm like, I don't think you have a backup point guard that isn't Marcus Smart or Desmond Bain. I think those minutes are taken by those guys, so there isn't another actual point guard you really need on the roster. Scottie Pippen Jr. is fine to have around in case Ja were to miss a game here or there, but other than that, like when Ja's playing, I don't think you need a true backup point guard.
Exactly. And I think just the overall impact of Marcus Smart, like he's great in 20 games, but he's averaging the most points he'd ever had in his career. He's averaging the most steals in his career. And I think there's something psychologically to also like, hey, I was here for 10 years. I built this in Boston, and they decided to trade. Yeah. Going from a new that's a change. You're learning a new
I think you're
in a new city.
Yeah, your point is well taken. I am with you 100%. That's the guy I want to see, and I think Edey's another storyline certainly. So I think we're on the same page. We were up against a break, but I want you to tell everybody about Subsocolitis.
Yeah, Subsocolitis. Anybody that reads Subsocolitis, it's free. But if you want to financially support, it goes to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital to support my wife. And before the end of September, I am running a promotion where anybody that becomes a paid subscriber or donates to St. Jude via Subsocolitis before the end of September for Childhood Cancer Awareness Month enters for a chance to win 2 lower bowl tickets to a Grizzlies game this year. So
very nice.
Go to Subsocolitis.substack.com. Just go to my Twitter at Paca_Flocka. It's all over the place. Go subscribe. It's for a good cause, and there's no strings attached. Like, no paywall stuff. It's all still free, but you're just giving out of the kindness of your heart to the children of St. Jude.
It's great content for a very good cause. We love having Parker on, so make sure you support Parker. Follow him on Twitter at Paca_Flocka. We'll talk soon, Parker. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg.
Take care.
Guns, guns, and more guns. That's what it's all about at Classic Arms of Memphis. ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com is the website. You can find Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway. It's right behind the Corky's Barbecue there in Cordova. When it comes to guns, they've got everything you can imagine. They've got new, they've got used. They not only sell guns, but they buy guns. They will trade guns. So they've got a collection of new and used guns for you. Everything from handguns to shotguns to rifles, whatever. All the top brand names, they've got them. Remington, Winchester, Ruger, Smith & Wesson, Browning, Beretta, Benelli, whatever. All of it. They've got them. They've got over 700 firearms in stock. So they've got a little bit of everything when it comes to guns. They're the only gun importer. They're also do free gun inspections. They will do free gun appraisals as well at Classic Arms of Memphis. Plus, of course, your ammunition needs, gun cases, gun safes, all of those type things. They've got that, of course, for you as well. Classic Arms, 1740 Germantown Parkway, or online. Shop 24/7 at classicarmsofmemphis.com.
You got 10 in a row coming your way at 9:05. Brandon Lang at 9:25. But one more segment here in hour 2, and it's on the way live from TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Just a quick reminder, it's football season, and if you are not spending a little time each weekend watching college or pro ball at Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect downtown neighborhood bar, people might be talking about you behind your back. See, everyone else has figured out that Bell Tavern, with its ice-cold beer, signature cocktails, cozy atmosphere, and incredible staff, is the perfect place to while away a bowl Saturday or Sunday, cheering on your team in a place where people act like adults, whether their team is winning or losing. Bell Tavern is not a sports bar, except when it is.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRIEND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRIEND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
To reveal the full spectrum of its dazzling color.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
We are having a great time. We are on location today. It's nice to get out of the office, if you will, to get out of the studio. And we're at TSS Supply at 5665 East Rains Road. We'll be here for another hour, and then John Harden will have his show out here from 11 to 1. We've been telling you about this place, but let's get an expert to tell us more about TSS Supply. His name is Mike Tillman. He's the director of ops out here. Has been here since the start. 15 years now, Mike, is what we've been talking about. You guys been around for that long?
That's right. We opened TSS in 2010.
All right. For those out there who are wondering, okay, what is that all about? What's TSS Supply? Tell everybody what you guys offer.
We service installers, contractors of resinous floor coatings and polished concrete systems.
So, first of all, I got to ask, whose job is it to do inventory in this place?
That would be Mr. Brad.
Because I mean, it's unbelievable. You've got. I have to imagine you literally have everything in the world because this place is huge and it's stocked to the roof everywhere.
Well, that's part of our strategy. We felt like this area was underserved for people that are in this line of work to find one place to get everything that they need to do their job. And these guys are running around to 4 or 5 different places to go out and service their customer. And we felt like it was a great opportunity to create something where they have a source for everything that they need. That's our goal, to have everything every time they come here.
And people may not necessarily know exactly what they're looking for. You have the experts to help them.
We do. We've got, several decades of experience in this industry, probably over 100 years of experience in this industry, and we give that away for free. That's part of the part of the package.
I love the fact that you also say you'll ice their coolers for them. I mean, you guys literally are the one-stop shop.
That's it. I don't want you to have to go to the gas station or a big box store or anything. I mean, we've got an ice machine for your coolers. We've got water. We've got Gatorade. We've got snacks. And everything else you need to get the job done.
All right, so for folks like myself that, I listen to what you said, I kind of understand, I don't know exactly. What about what projects are we talking about? And obviously this is for contractors and builders and things of that nature, but for maybe you own a home and there's a project you want to do. What exactly are we talking about that you use the epoxy and the decorative concrete sealers? What is it used for?
Yeah, so we've got products and systems that can improve the aesthetics and durability of your garage floor, patios, around your pool deck, concrete sealers, waterproofing supplies, joint fillers, any type of concrete improvement and aesthetic improvement of concrete around your home. We've got products for that.
October 16th, there's a lab surface demonstration on decorative concrete coatings. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so these guys are going to come in. They're a manufacturer of one of the products that we sell, one line of products that we sell, and they're going to be here and spend several hours showing the install of those products. So if people haven't used these products and want to ask questions from the guy who developed these products, or if you have somebody who's never picked up a roller in their life and wants to or has some interest in this business and wants to see what that looks like, this is a good chance to come out and kind of get your toes wet.
And you, just to be sure, you sell the product, but you don't do the projects, right? Or do you?
On the TSS side, we do not install the projects. We are simply here to service the guys that are doing the work in any way that we can.
And sell that product. You guys are conveniently open 7 to, you're up early, so you're up with us. 7 to 5, Monday through Friday, but closed on the weekends.
We are closed on the weekends, but I will never let you not get what you need if you need something on the weekend. We have a way to get you in this building and get someone here to meet you if you need something. If you've ever spent any time on the contractor side, that's very critical. You can't keep a customer displaced from an area or their garage unnecessarily, and things happen, and we're here to fit that need. Nobody else is doing that for you.
Very convenient. Is there something new that with technology always changing in your business, your line of work, anything that here in 2024 is something that we didn't see 5 years ago?
Well, I think if you're environmentally conscious, all of these products are becoming more and more green, I guess, and there's less solvents and VOCs. They become more user-friendly and safer, and for people that are conscientious of the environment, we have products that fit that niche, and that's a growing trend.
How about a website?
We have a website, TSS Supply.
And then a phone number to call?
Phone number to call.
Put them right on the spot.
901-729-0565. Ask for Brad.
Or best yet, just come on by. TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road, very conveniently located from anywhere in the tri-state area. Mike, an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having us out here. Of course, we got another hour, and then John Harden will be out here. So folks know where they need to go when they're looking at these type of projects, whether it be contractors, whether it be home builders, whether it be homeowners. This is the place, TSS Supply. Thank you so much, Mike.
Man, you got it. Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Folks, Corky's Ribs and Barbecue is a great option any day of the week for lunch or for dinner and for tailgating. Yes, it's going to be raining tonight for high school football, but if you're going to tailgate, you might as well tailgate with the best barbecue, and that's Corky's. Also, if you have an event coming up and you want it catered, Corky's is the place for you. They've been catering as long as they've been around. That's 4 decades, specializing in that delicious slow-smoked barbecue. I was at Corky's 2 days ago. Actually had believe it or not, a burger. They have a delicious burger. That's what I had at Corky's. Wasn't in the mood for the barbecue, but you can go with their award-winning catfish plate. I've had the tamale, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Hour 3 on the way, live from TSS Supply. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
To help us tell everyone how great Central Barbecue is.
Oh, I don't think we need it either, but I just thought it might be fun to have somebody more famous than us chime in on the best barbecue in Memphis.
Well, did he talk about how Central Barbecue slow smokes its meat for 24 hours to make sure that it's perfectly tender and doesn't need a sauce?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, did he talk about how there are Central Barbecue locations all over town?
No.
Did you write his copy for him?
I didn't want to be insulting.
So what did he say?
Hi, I'm Dave Woloshin, the voice of the Memphis Tigers. I love Central Barbecue, and I vote. Does that work okay?
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easier to last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, mainly 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill and I buy houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill and I buy houses.
For life's spectacular moments, only a real diamond will do. At Sissy's Log Cabin, you'll discover a brilliant selection of natural diamonds, along with our promise of unmatched quality and service. The only real diamond is a natural diamond from Sissy's. Find yours when you stop by any of our 6 locations or shop online at sissyslogcabin.com. Discover the natural diamond of your dreams only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporty luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not if you call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 901-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com. Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in town Memphis.
Traffic brought to you by 901 Eats to Go, 3135 Kirby Whitten Road in Bartlett. Pick up, DoorDash, Uber Eats, or online at 901eats.com. Eats with the Z. Good food fast.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still heavy traffic volume out here in a couple of spots coming down I-40 westbound in from Fayette County into Shelby County as you pass Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. Still a little bit of traffic volume up through the Midtown area. Not too bad, though, on 240 north up by Lamar. Not like it normally would be. Heavy rain now in our area. Please give yourself extra time out here. Lots of standing water on main and secondary arteries. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden. Weekdays from 11 to 1.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. A lot of finals. Final hour for us today. Final hour for us this week. Final hour for our producer, Zach Boyd, who will move on to become a teacher after this next hour. Zach is in the Family Leisure Studios, along with our new producer, who will begin officially on Monday, but has been with us for the last 2 weeks. Learning from Zach, that's Elijah Seegers. Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy with you today on location from TSS Supply at 5665 East Rains Road. Jenkins Floors and More, third hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings. They are located at 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake. They have stores in Cleveland, Mississippi, and in Little Rock as well. If you're looking for flooring and carpeting, that's what they specialize in. SPC and WPC vinyls, which are state-of-the-art, scratch-resistant, waterproof, the top-of-the-line, ceramic and porcelain tiles, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, backsplashes for your kitchens and bathrooms, plantation shutters and blinds, so much more. It's a family-owned and operated company. They sell it wholesale, skip you the middleman, and save you lots of money in the process. For homeowners, contractors, do-yourself, or have them do it at Jenkins Floors and More. Whatever the project is, they'll have it done in 2 weeks. That's the promise from them to you. They'll come by wherever you are. They'll give you a free estimate. They'll show you samples of what it may be that you're looking for, whether it be carpeting, whether it be flooring. Really a great company to work with, good people to work with. Call them and tell you heard it here on Sports 56 Mornings, 662-469-9350. They're open Monday through Saturday. Military and first responders, you get 10% off. And for all you Sports 56 listeners, ask about your family discount at Jenkins Floors and More. Go see them in their spacious showroom, 2356 Goodman Road in Horn Lake, Mississippi. Again, we are here at TSS Supply, and Eli will be here for one more hour, and then John Harden for 2 hours today.
That's right. John Harden will be here from 11 to 1. They'll have some Baby Jack's barbecue for lunch out here today. We've got bagels and coffee from Big B Coffee for breakfast. If folks want to stop by, you can register to win 4 tickets for the Memphis football game tomorrow against Middle Tennessee State, or the next home game, which is the North Texas game on October 19th. We also got here a family 4-pack of tickets for the Jones Orchard Corn Maze, plus both of the haunted houses.
Yeah, that place is cool. It really is cool.
So you've got the Corn Maze and both haunted houses for 4 people. And I'm willing to just give that to the first person, the next person that comes in, ask for it. You got, again, 4 tickets for the Corn Maze, 4 tickets for each of the 2 haunted houses. We give it all. That's a family 4-pack. Take the entire family out to Jones Orchard, have some fun. If you want to come on in, ask for it. Boom, it's yours.
Hey, that's great. Again, it's 5665 East Range Road. When you walk in, you need to say, hey, we're Sports 56. We're actually in the warehouse. We're in this huge warehouse in the back, but it's just a few steps from the showroom. So come on by and see us. By the way, yeah, we know it's raining. We said before, and we'll say it again, you're not going to melt, but be careful. Please be careful driving, because there is a good chance of flooding. We're looking at 66 for a high today. It's already 65. Then tonight, 62 for a low. Again, that rain will continue throughout the night and in the overnight hours into Saturday with about a 40% chance. And then as Saturday rolls along, hopefully that rain will dissipate in time for the Tiger game against Middle Tennessee State, 6:30 kick from Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. You're heading down to Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. What's the forecast? Because that's an early game. It's going to be a lot of rain or not?
I mean, I don't know. There were some original things that said maybe that it was going to stay north of Oxford, but I don't know. I know it's raining down there now, so I don't know what the situation is for tomorrow.
Okay, before we get to 10 in a row, and we'll get to that in just a few moments, and then we have Brandon Lang at 9:25. A couple of things. We've been talking a lot this week about the Derrick Rose retirement and what he means to a lot of people, not only around the NBA, but, of course, here collegiately at the University of Memphis, the impact of Derrick Rose. This was a tweet from John Calipari, former Tiger coach, now the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Derrick Rose and I talked a few days ago about his decision to retire from the NBA and start the next phase of his life with his family. His decision was well thought out, and his concern for his family was evident. His appreciation of his long career and what it meant to him was heartfelt. It also gave me a chance to thank him and let him know my appreciation for what he did for me and my family. He was always an unbelievable teammate. Maybe the best I've ever coached. He was a coach's dream, authentic, and always trying to make it about other people, and that goes back to his high school days. He was shy and an introvert, as I've talked about many times, but one of the most competitive players with an unending will to win. He had one gear, and anyone who played against him would know what I'm saying. The people that he touched along the way all have feelings for him because of his loyalty and quiet resolve. He and his family know my love and appreciation for them. I'm just happy I was able to be a small part and to enjoy the ride with him. And I'm here going forward. Much love and respect, D. Rose. That's from John Calipari. Some other notes. Tigers quarterback Seth Hennigan has been named to the Jason Witten College Man of the Year Award watch list. I did not even know that this award existed, but it's been around now for several years. Hennigan is on 7 watch lists in total. The President's Cup, Eli, as you know, is going on, and it's not much of a competition. As the United States struck yesterday on day 1, they're playing it in Canada, going up against this international team, and the United States won all 5 of their matches.
Yeah, it's, again, no surprise. The U.S., I mean, on paper, should dominate this thing. They have historically, and yesterday, no different. Some fireworks between Scotty Scheffler and Tom Kim. So a little fun there in that match yesterday. But, yeah, they've got the foursomes that'll be taking place later today. And you got action tomorrow, and then the individual matches coming up on Sunday. But, yeah, the U.S. off to a good start in the President's Cup with the 5-0 beginning.
Yeah, the 5 twosomes that won yesterday for the U.S., it was Finau and Schauffele, Morikawa and Thigala, Henley and Scheffler, Keegan Bradley and Wyndham Clark, and Cantlay and Burns, your winners yesterday for the United States in the President's Cup. And one other NBA note I forgot to or neglected to mention, I saw this yesterday. I think this is a great gesture. Portland will honor the late Bill Walton with a special tie-dye band on their jerseys this season. So there you go. As Bill Walton would say, Richard Jefferson's an absolute ninja. Time now for 10 in a row.
Not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, but 10 in a row.
It's the game show that has swept the nation. Oh, we were going to do it again. That would make it 20 in a row. 10 in a row. Each and every Friday we do this. We give you an opportunity to win. All you need to do is jump on a phone line. It's free of charge, 360-8255. That's 901-360-8255 if you'd like to participate in the game show that has swept the nation. That is 10 in a row, and it's brought to you by Napa Cafe.
That's right. Napa Cafe celebrating 26 years in business in 2024. They've been producing great food there for a long, long time. Glenda Hastings and company over there producing that great food. 5101 Sanderlin in East Memphis. That's where you'll find them. You'll also find them online at napacafe.com where you can make reservations and also check out their entire menu with that great food that they offer at Napa Cafe. 5 different dining rooms, including the private wine cellar, which is great for an intimate evening out, celebrating a special occasion, but just a great atmosphere wherever you're spending that night at Napa Cafe. The entire menu is available for curbside pickup as well. So if you're looking for some great food, head on over to Napa Cafe. They're open for dinner Wednesday through Saturday. 5 o'clock they open up. Again, for reservations, you can go to the website at napacafe.com. Again, 26 years they've been producing that great food for folks here in Memphis at Napa Cafe. And the winner of 10 in a row will get a $50 gift certificate to Napa Cafe, along with a $50 gift certificate to Buster's Butcher. So you can go get yourself some meat.
Nice.
To fire up on that big green egg.
Will you cook it for them?
No, I won't.
Okay, all right.
Because if I'm cooking it, I'm cooking it for myself.
If you're cooking it, you're eating it.
I'm not there to do that. $50 gift certificate to Buster's Butchers, a couple of Malco movie passes as well. So $50 to Napa Cafe, $50 to Buster's Butcher, and a couple of Malco movie passes going to the winner.
All right, listen carefully to this question. Schools who have made an appearance in the SEC football championship game or the Big Ten championship game. Now, the SEC football championship game started in 1992. The Big Ten championship game in 2011. Okay? So it's from 1992 with the SEC, from 2011 in the Big Ten. Schools who have made an appearance in either the SEC football championship game or the Big Ten championship game. Doesn't matter if they won or lost. Have they appeared in a championship game? 360-8255. If I made it just one or the other, it would be too easy. I don't want to make it too hard, so I think this is right down the middle. It's not the easiest question. It's not the hardest question. Schools who have made an appearance in the SEC football championship game or the Big Ten championship game.
360-8255, 360-8255, the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line to play 10 in a row. Again, a $50 gift certificate to Napa Cafe, $50 gift certificate to Buster's Butcher, and a couple of Malco movie passes on the line for a winner today in 10 in a row.
All right, while we wait for you to call in at 360-8255, I was looking at this story about John Rothstein, who has put together a list of 20 under-the-radar transfers for the 24-25 college basketball season. 2 of the Tigers listed. So there you go, 5%. P.J. Haggerty, Dane Danger, both among his 20 under-the-radar transfers in college basketball. As we get ready for a Tiger season that, quite frankly, we don't know much about. And maybe we'll learn a little bit more if Penny becomes more available to talk about them. He hasn't really said much about them and hasn't spoken that much at all during the offseason, but hopefully that'll be happening soon. As I mentioned earlier, you have the event coming up a week from tonight, which will be the Blue and Gray Showcase. That'll be at the Elmer Rohn Fieldhouse, featuring both the men and the women. Free tickets for the general public and University of Memphis students, and they can be claimed right now online. It started at 8 a.m. this morning. Once they get that sold out, there's no more tickets available. That'll be a week from Friday.
360-8255 is the phone number to play 10 in a row, and it is going to be George that leads us off in 10 in a row. Hello, George.
Hi, George.
Hello, let's try it.
All right. Michigan State.
Yes.
Georgia.
Yes.
Illinois.
No.
Ole Miss.
No.
LSU.
Yes.
Auburn.
Yes.
Northwestern.
Yes.
Arkansas.
Yes.
Alabama.
Yes.
Indiana.
Indiana's no.
You made it look easy. Good job, George. Congratulations.
George, congratulations, sir. Well done. Congratulations. Hold on, and we'll tell you how you're going to get your prizes.
Wow, I thought he was about to say yes on that last one. I thought he said, yeah, no. Second chance? Lines are full. We haven't even got to our second list yet.
I'll give Josh, Jay, and Steven a crack at it here. Josh, what's up?
Hey, Josh.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, not too much. Again, these are schools who have made an appearance in either the SEC football championship game or the Big Ten championship game. South Carolina.
No.
Next.
Jay is next. Hey, Jay.
Hello, Jay.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning.
Good morning. South Carolina.
No.
Ooh, wasn't listening to our previous caller.
Steven is next up. Hey, Steven.
Steven.
All right, guys, let's do it.
Hey, South Carolina.
Yes.
Nebraska.
Yes.
Mississippi State.
Yes.
Wisconsin.
Yes.
Missouri.
Yes.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Kentucky.
No.
Florida.
Yes.
Iowa.
Yes.
Maryland.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Maryland?
Maryland.
No.
There you go. Second chance winner.
Steven, congratulations. We'll put together a prize package for you as well. Hold on.
See, I use Maryland. People are thinking, oh, he's got to use them in a positive vein. They got to be a yes, but nope.
Nah, people realize Maryland's terrible.
They're average. That's what they are every year. Same deal, broken record, never better, never worse. Same thing no matter what coach it is. Now, try being a fan of that program or a program similar to that. I don't know if I wouldn't rather have the highest of highs and lowest of lows. I hate being right there, stuck in the middle with you. I'm like Steelers' wheel. Anybody get that reference? Probably not.
Ralph Friedgen ain't walking through that door.
Ralph is not coming through that door anytime soon.
Barely fits through the door.
Easy. I think he lost some weight. From the world of entertainment, some of you may know this name. Some of you may not. I barely do, but it is right now trending. Dame Maggie Smith has sadly passed away at the age of 89. I'm not sure if she was in any of the Harry Potter movies or anything like that, but Maggie Smith has passed away. All right, when we come back, it's all about the Langer. Brandon Lang will join us next.
Genesis Diamonds. Folks, for your jewelry needs, go see the folks at Genesis, Poplar and Perkins Extended, where luxury and value come together every single day. You go in there, check out the wonderful selection from all the top designers. You know you're going to get a beautiful ring. When you talk about engagement rings, you know you're going to get a better ring, a designer ring, a handcrafted ring made right here in America, not some knockoff, not something cheap, any of that type of stuff. You're getting the best, but you're also getting it at a great price. The selection of rings from the top designers, the selection of diamonds absolutely out of this world, from natural diamonds to lab-grown diamonds, all different shapes, sizes, cuts, everything you can imagine. Direct importer pricing to save you money. That's what it's about. Great value for that engagement ring at Genesis Diamond, something that she will proudly wear and be showing off for years to come. You can check them out at Poplar and Perkins Extended. Also, don't forget they've got that incredible selection of amazing luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Everything you need in the world of jewelry you'll find at Genesis Diamonds.
And again, we still have that giveaway, Eli. We're still waiting for that person to walk in, get out of their car, get a little bit wet, and come in and see us at TSS Supply.
Yeah, we got the family 4-pack for Jones Orchard, the Corn Maze, and the haunted houses out there that you can come on by and pick up. You can also, of course, register to win 4 tickets to the Tigers football game tomorrow or 4 tickets to the North Texas game coming up on October 19th.
Yeah, the kids will absolutely love that. So, again, the first person to walk in here can claim that prize. When we come back, you know him, you love him, you can't live without him, the one and only Brandon Lang. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Spencer here with ATC Fitness. There's no better time of the year than now. Football and fitness go hand in hand in the fall. And with individual screens on each piece of cardio and multiple big screens throughout the rest of the club, you'll never miss a bit of the action watching your favorite team. ATC Fitness continues to be the Mid-South's choice for fitness, family-owned for 30 years, and proud supporters of Coach Silverfield and the Memphis Tigers. Join online at atcfitness.com. ATC Fitness. Exercise your right to look good.
Hi, I'm Chandler Martin, linebacker for the University of Memphis football. You need cash? Refinance your auto loan with Southern Security and have no payment for 60 days. Southern Security will finance up to 115% of the current value of your vehicle for up to 72 months. To find out how to put more cash in your pocket, call our member service team at 502-7900 or apply on our website, southernsecurity.org. Southern Security is a proud supporter of University of Memphis Athletics. Southern Security, your home team credit union. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
You've heard of James Gaddis Jewelers, but have you heard what they've done lately? Everything. A tremendous selection of diamonds and jewels, gold, silver, and much more. Lots of watches, tons of custom-made jewelry, fine gemstones, bracelets, necklaces, so many choices. Romantics will love the one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. James Gaddis has experts to help you with wedding and engagement rings, plus 2 repair experts for fine watches and jewelry. Layaway and financing available. James Gaddis Jewelers at 4900 Poplar.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:25 the time. Brandon Lang joins us in just a moment. Tonight, in college football, we have 2 games. Virginia Tech, 17.5-point underdog at number 7 Miami. I knew Miami was good. I wanted to see last week's game against South Florida. They were a heavy favorite. I thought South Florida could go toe-to-toe. I was completely wrong. Miami demolished them, and now I'm a believer. I've always been a believer in Cam Ward, but I'm a believer in Cristobal and that Miami team. And tonight, again, in ACC play, 17.5-point favorite. And then Washington will play at Rutgers. The history, Eli, involved in that Big Ten matchup between Washington and Rutgers. I mean, it goes way back. I mean, before we were even born.
It's just the friendly neighborhood rivalry. I mean, when you get 2 schools that are that close together, there's just the stories, so many families that have grown up house divided amongst those 2 schools that are so close in proximity. It's unbelievable.
Time now for Brandon Lang.
It's time to handicap this week's action. Joining Greg and Eli is sports handicapper Brandon Lang, subject of the movie 2 for the Money.
I mean, I was absolutely nauseous and ready to literally crawl to the TV, track him down with a yellow wiffle ball bat, and just putting the beating on.
Get Brandon's plays at BrandonLang.com.
Jack Nicholson, up too quick in. You walked me on that wall. You made me on that wall. It's like we're code and honor. Who's going to do that? You can put him a Catholic. You can one third.
Also listen to Brandon's betting analysis on the Believe Podcast Network.
He's not going to last very long in the NFL. I don't care what people say. He will be out of the league within 3 years. I guarantee it. You heard it here first. He will be gone. I don't know what his dad does for a living, but whatever his dad does, he will go in the family business.
Now, here's Brandon with Greg and Eli.
He is Brandon Lang, who joins us every Friday. BrandonLang.com is the website. Of course, you can hear him on the Believe Podcast Network. I'm very curious, Brandon, to know if you got clipped by the hook last night, or did you do what you normally do and take those home dogs? How are you?
First of all, 2 things. What was the dominatrix game? Was it the Ravens?
It was.
Eli's got it written down. Hang on.
Let me look back. I forgot to look.
Please
I think it wasn't it the.
I usually always check it before we.
Wasn't it the Ravens?
It was. No, it was New Orleans.
Oh. Wow.
God.
There's going to be some action.
You said it was you had. We talked about the Ravens early on, and then but then you said we're gonna make New Orleans the paddle game.
Oh God.
Get ready. Get ready to be paddled, my friend.
Oh God. She's got a new paddle that she bought for the year. The first time I'm going to have to take it. You guys kill me. Wow. This is going to get ugly. I hate you guys. I really do. I was coming
at least wait till we get off the air here.
Yeah, we didn't make the pick. Come on now.
Listen, it's a Saturday night thing before Sunday. Oh, that never changes. It's a Saturday night thing. But I was strutting around all week. You wasted money on that. We're going undefeated. And to sit there on the 3rd and 16, and I'm just going to say one thing. The coaching at the NFL level right now is the worst that I've ever seen it in my lifetime. Guys have jobs that shouldn't have jobs. It's like a wheel. And you get coffee as an intern, and you work yourself, and all of a sudden you get on that wheel. You're on that wheel. It's just bad coaches recycling. Because you're the Saints. You get outplayed, you squander opportunities, you can't pick up a 3rd and 1, a 4th and 1, and you still have the lead. It's 3rd and 16. Now, I'm just a guy sitting there watching the game in a sports bar. Devontae Smith is out. A.J. Brown is out. Who do you think Jalen Hurts is going to throw to on the most important 3rd and 16 in the history of mankind? Dallas Goedert!
Maybe Dallas Goedert.
No, he got left. So let's run a crossing route and have 3 Saints bump into each other. Oh, my God. I was at Best Buy. I had left the sports bar, went to Best Buy, was watching it in Best Buy, and literally almost broke one of their TVs. Literally. Listen, I had the whole sales staff at Best Buy watching the TV because I said when the Saints score and it's a touchdown to go up by 5, I said, if this holds on, I'll beat you $100. The whole sales staff was watching the game to pull it in. And when they ran it down, they all looked like they're done. It was unbelievable. Me and my girl walk out. She's like going, it's amazing how you had a whole Best Buy staff watching the game pulling in for you. I'm like, yeah, I would spend $600 to get that win. Unbelievable. Then last night, let me make sure I'm clear on this. Brian Daboll lost all that weight in the offseason. He could be one of the worst coaches in the NFL. Every time I turn around, the Giants were inside the 20-yard line. Field goal. I had the over, by the way, last night. I didn't touch the side. I had the over. And I'm betting pretty 26 points at the half. I'm like, we're going to move the ball in the second half. And I watched the Giants go up and down, get inside the 20, and kick field goal. Listen to me. I know Brian Daboll lost that weight. But guys, I've said this on your show about Andy Reid, and I'll say it again. Brian Daboll, when he lost the weight, he lost his brain. Fat coaches coach better because they're food happy. Andy Reid as a reference. He doesn't care how fat he is. All he does is win Super Bowl. Why? Because he's happy. You sit on the sideline, you're like, what am I going to eat at halftime? Pizza, donuts, man. People who love food are happy. Oh, my God.
Fat Wait, I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. Fat coaches make better coaches because they're happy because they eat. They're content.
Coach happy.
They coach happy.
Have you ever been really, really hungry and you can't eat what you want to eat? You're angry. You're just angry.
You are.
You're like, you're just angry. You don't care about food and you're eating donuts or whatever. You're happy. Fat people are happy. Well, hold on. I'm going to be politically correct. Overweight people are happy. They are.
Fat and happy. I believe there's
you can say obese.
There people talk about fat and happy.
Well, what about, I'm trying to think if there's like an obese coach of the past I can think that was bad. Mark Mangino was a good coach.
Yes.
He's a good coach.
Who are fat.
He's a slob.
That don't coach well.
Charlie Weiss was not a good head coach.
But he was a good coordinator.
Great coordinator. Listen, great coordinator. He lost a little weight when he went to Notre Dame. Look at the pictures. He lost a little weight. He wasn't as fat as when he was coordinator. Okay, look at the pictures. Look at the pictures. Don't you go there.
John Madden.
I think he actually.
John Madden was a good coach, and he was big when he was coaching.
Hold on. The coach on the other sideline last night. I got to watch Mike McCarthy coach the Cowboys all the time. He's a terrible coach.
He won a Super Bowl.
He's a terrible coach. Seriously, but see, McCarthy's trying to lose weight. That's why he's on that stuff. You can't.
He's on a Gobi.
He's fat and terrible. He's fat and terrible.
Hey, I'm not going to let you steal my thunder of the fat narrative today. I'm not going to let you. I've already overeaten this morning.
Brett Norsworthy tweet. Brett Norsworthy texts me. He says Abe Gibran was fat and bad. I don't even remember Abe Gibran.
Mike McCarthy's fat and terrible.
My girl came downstairs this morning. I'm sitting at the table. I got a salad bowl full of a whole box of Captain Crunch and a half gallon of milk. I'm overeating today.
Oh, my gosh. Abe was huge. I'm looking up Abe, Brett. Yeah, he was a big boy.
It is not Captain Crunch. It's Captain Crunch. Get that straight.
Listen, by the way,
put the T in Captain.
The best cereal on the face of the planet. Unless you go way back to when I was a kid, there was this cereal called, I don't know if you guys remember it. If you remember this, I'll give you guys the biggest credit in the world. We'll get to the games in a second. The greatest cereal in the world, Quisp. Remember Quisp?
Oh, yeah, and Quake. Quisp and Quake. It was a battle. It was a commercial, and they were having a battle between Quisp and Quake.
First of all,
oh my God, I'm crying right now. Quisp is better.
If you
7 bowls all day today.
7 bowls.
If you eat an entire box of Cap'n Crunch, the roof of your mouth won't be the same for 6
right.
months. The roof of your mouth will take 6 months to recover.
And
It's
6
okay,
months from.
I'll tell you why. I want to feel the pain of fatness.
Well, you're gonna feel the pain. You're gonna feel the pain from that New Orleans pick with the paddle. But here's the thing. Here's the other thing too. If you eat all those bowls, 7 bowls of Captain Crunch, not only will your roof be cut open,
Captain.
Yeah, Captain. 6 months from now, you'll still be getting that Captain Crunch out of your teeth. You could brush your teeth for 7 hours straight, and you can't get it all out of there. So anyway,
that stuff tears
anyway,
the hell out of the roof of your mouth.
What do we got going? Where do you want to start? Let's start in the NFL. Let's start in the NFL. Let's start with the Steelers and the Colts. The Steelers are 3-0, and I'm still not enamored with them. My Colts are 1-2, but Richardson keeps throwing picks in the red zone. The Steelers are a road favorite in Indy.
Yeah, I think this is the game that they come up short. It's been a great run. It really has. But Pittsburgh's 0-6-1 against the spread as a road favorite of 5 points or less at AFC South Side. Home dogs with a win percentage of less than .333 in Game 4. Ready? 10-5 straight up. 12-2-1 against the spread is facing an opponent off consecutive wins. And if that opponent's off a double-digit victory, that home dog is 7-0 against the spread. I think Indy gets it done here, and I'm going to roll with Indy plus the points. Not a game I love. There's a couple games I really, really love, but that's a game where I lean to the dog.
The Bills have looked great so far. The Ravens coming off that win last week at home, hosting the Bills, and the Ravens the short favorite here at 2.5. Do they get their second straight, or do the Bills continue to roll?
Bills are 3-0 against 3 teams that are 2-7. 1 win Dolphins, 1 win Arizona, 0 for Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a regular season game since Christ came back 2,000 years ago. He's actually, I just heard that Will Levis and Trevor Lawrence are going to open up a Starbucks together. And it's going to be somewhere in the South because they're both going to be out of the league in 2-3 years. Look at Levis. I mean, he did it again last week with another flippy. I mean, and his coach stands behind him. And that Tennessee dysfunction is the Titanic meets Armageddon. And it's just, the iceberg's so big, they're all going down. That whole franchise is going down, Will Levis. They need to cast him with the... Remember the Moses and the Ten Commandments and the lepers down in that little cave he went down? That's where Levis needs to go to rewire his brain. But anyway, I'm not sold on Buffalo. I think the Ravens at home got them in the playoffs. If Buffalo goes in here and wins, I'll buy. But here are some numbers for you. 3-0 teams in Game 4 that were in the playoffs last year are 1-12 straight up, 3-10 against the spread as a road dog. And if that team they're playing is coming off a win, only 9 straight up, 1-8 against the number. Ravens at home get it done.
Vegas is favored at home against the Browns. The Raiders are bad, but the Browns have problems, even though I think they have a roster that could be good. It's all about that quarterback. Both teams at 1-2.
Karma and energy. Remember the Charlie Brown cartoons we watched on TV? And Big Ben had that little dirt following him all everywhere when he had the dirt following him. That's the karma cloud behind Deshaun Watson, and you're seeing it. It's pulling the whole team down, and literally there's nothing they can do about it. I'm going to continue to ride Cleveland games under the posted total just because their defense is that good, and I can't see Gardner Minshew doing much against it. I get the fact that Cleveland is 13-2-0 against the spread against teams with a sub-500 record, so the number would tell you if they place Cleveland. But I think Cleveland falls in the same line with New England. The defense is so good that I will play both those teams under the posted total. Be 4-2 this year so far.
playing Cleveland games as opposed to totally New England games as opposed to totally younger.
Your signal's getting a little wonky, Brandon, but we're still got you. You mentioned Trevor Lawrence, who hasn't won a game in forever. The Texans got blown out last week. They're at home hosting the Jaguars. You had a bet against Jacksonville right now, right?
You got me? You got me clear?
Yes, yep, yeah.
Okay, now, this year, courtesy of, we're going to say the Giants were 5.5 because the line didn't move to 5 until really, really late. We'll call it 5.5. With that cover last night, NFL underdogs of 5.5 points or more this year in the NFL are now 15-2 against the number with 10 outright wins. Should have been 11, except for Dable and Daniel Jones figuring out a way to lose that game. Think about that, boys. 5.5 or more dogs in the NFL, 15-2 against the number. There are 3 left. Denver plus 7.5, New England plus 10.5, Jacksonville plus 6. The Jags in this series, visiting team 5-0 straight up against the spread. And Houston at home in division games, they are 1-7. Their last 8 straight up. I don't know how they'll do it, when they'll do it, but Jacksonville plus the points, you have to take them. Denver plus the points, you have to take them. New England, I don't know about that, but a 15-2 against the spread record. Denver, New England, Jacksonville, keep an eye on those 3.
You love those home dogs, but do you love the Panthers as a home dog over the Bengals when the Bengals are a 4.5-point favorite coming in without a win this year? The Panthers make the change to quarterback Andy Dalton. They win last week, but they're a 4.5-point home dog.
The Dalton revenge game.
Yes.
Cincinnati 6-1 against the spread last 7 NFC road games. 4-0 straight up against the spread their last 4 against the NFC South. You take that with the fact Carolina against the AFC North 0-6 straight up, 1-5 against the spread last 6. You have to lean towards Cincinnati. I know it's hard. I know home dogs bark, but listen, just when you put Andy Dalton on that wall to defend that wall for you, he absolutely implodes. Vegas was coming home from the big upset of Baltimore. They caught him in the right place at the right time. If I played this game, which I will not touch this, I will not watch this, it comes on Red Zone, I'll flick away from it, I would play Cincinnati, but not a game that I love. The 3 games I love are Denver unders 39.5, Ravens minus 2.5, and the paddle game, slap game. I'm going to take a beat tomorrow, and I hate you guys because you should have made me say with Baltimore. And I'll take it like a man, like I always do. Vikings plus 2.5 over Green Bay. Vikings are for real. Vikings are for real. People don't realize about the Vikings. You go back to last year, Kevin O'Connell, what he did late in the year, he had Joshua Dobbs as a quarterback, won a couple games. They had Nick Mullins, who was in a position to win the game against Cincinnati and the game against Detroit. He was working with quarterbacks that were clueless. He has Sam Darnold in the system doing exactly what he needs to do. He hired the best defensive coordinator of football, Brian Flores, who's come out of the box and been brilliant in 3 wins, especially the last 2 weeks against the Niners and the Houston Texans. Minnesota is for real. Take them plus 2.5. I'm going to take a beating, but I ain't going to take one next week. I guarantee you, Minnesota.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Malik Willis or Jordan Love. It still take Minnesota plus 2.5.
No, does not matter. The
Just want to be sure.
Are for real. This may be the last time you get this kind of value with him as an underdog. Remember, Houston was laying 2. They beat him by 27. The Niners were laying 6.5 against them, and they won that game outright by 6. You're not going to get value, and I don't think Vegas thinks the Vikings are for real. I believe they are. I'll buy it up to 3. I'll get plus 3. Make sure I'm going to buy the hook. Plus 3. It's been 130. Vikings plus 3 over Green Bay.
Last week in college, you nailed the BYU pick. You tried to tell me about
Oklahoma.
You tried to tell me Oklahoma versus Tennessee. I
Thank
told you don't mess with Tennessee right
No,
now. You don't
you're
mess
right.
with Tennessee. What do you think about the big one, Georgia-Alabama?
This is the only game we're going to talk about in college because it's the only game that means anything, and it's my best bet. Let's start with the fact that you look at Georgia at Kentucky, 262 yards total offense against Kentucky. Kentucky ran for 170 on them. Georgia is banged up, and yes, they got 2 weeks to get healthy, 2 weeks to kind of turn the corner. But Kirby Smart's 1-5 versus Bama in his 6 meetings. Only win was that SEC championship game. Then he went on to win the national championship.
Joe Milroe was the quarterback last year in the SEC championship, beat him 27-24. But here's the nugget that has me all over Bama. DeBauer faced Dan Lanning last year twice. As a dog, beat him twice. Dan Lanning runs the exact same defensive scheme as Georgia does. Why? Well, he just happened to be Georgia's defensive coordinator in 2019, 2020, and 2021. DeBauer is familiar with it, knows it better than pretty much anything, facing Lanning for the last 2 years. Now they come back home in a place where it's very, very tough to play. Very, very tough to play. Bama should be a 3-point favorite, but only because of the hype of what Georgia has done and what Georgia has been doing is this line, Georgia -2, -1.5, might get down to a pick 'em. Bama is the better team. Listen, you can say what you want about Alabama. Western Kentucky is not chopped liver. Wisconsin's not chopped liver. And South Florida's not chopped liver. Outscored those three teams 147-26 and left no doubt whatsoever. None whatsoever. You have a Georgia team that played Clemson, give them credit, beat them on a neutral field, Tennessee Tech, and struggled with a Kentucky team that got ran off the field by South Carolina 31-10. I just don't get it. I'm Tom Hanks in Big, where I raise the hand about the robot and go, I don't get it. I don't get what's so great about that. I just believe Alabama's the better team. I believe this coach knows the defensive scheme. I think Milroe, what he showed these first 3 weeks, is he's a different quarterback. And there's no pressure for Milroe. The pressure was the SEC championship game against a better Georgia team. And they won 27-24. And by the way, Carson Beck was atrocious in that SEC championship game. He was atrocious last 2 weeks ago in Kentucky. Atrocious. He feels pressure. He has problems. And I'm telling you, Alabama will get pressure. I think Alabama wins, and I think they win comfortably by double digits.
Wow. Alabama by double digits.
Yep.
Well, he says
old call.
He says the only game he really wants to talk about, but I'm going to ask you two more real quick before we let you go.
I know. I'm ready to go. Anything you throw.
I know. Does the Ole Miss juggernaut continue? You mentioned Kentucky. They hung in there with Georgia. They're getting 16 at Vaught-Hemingway.
Yeah, this is funny. I have to believe that this is the game that Ole Miss hangs around and lets Kentucky hang around. Mark Stoops is 17-5 against the spread, facing a team with a record greater than 500. See Georgia for a reference. And if that team is undefeated, he's now 11-0 against the spread if that team's coming off a straight-up and against the spread win. Georgia was when they went into Kentucky. That number went to 11-0. And now it's looking to go to 12-0. I think they hang around. And by the way, Kentucky 15-1 against the spread coming off a non-conference contest.
One more from me, and this is one that, okay, last week you gave us BYU over Kansas State. I jumped all over that one. Kansas State gets rattled. I know it was on the road, but they get drilled. Oklahoma State loses a tight one to Utah. Oklahoma State's going to be pissed from that loss. They go to Kansas State. They're a 5-point underdog. I know it's at Kansas State, so I know they're going to be the favorite, but I think really wrong team favorite. I think Oklahoma State wins on the road at Manhattan. What do you think about that one?
When I make really good money going against a team, I leave the team I win against alone the next week. I'm just going to give you the one stat that I came across when I was handicapping this game. Kansas State is 21-4 against the spread when coming off a double-digit against the spread loss.
Jeez.
If they sport a winning record of greater than 375 or greater, they are 18-0 against the spread. Let me say it again. If they are coming off a double-digit against the spread loss and they're facing an opponent who has a win percentage of greater than 375, 18-0 against the spread. Be careful with that one.
Wow. I got to ask you one because I am perplexed by this line. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel it's a trap. I last week I did not believe in Oklahoma against Tennessee because I just believe Tennessee's that good. Not that Oklahoma by any means embarrassed themselves, like they were in that game and they lost by 10. Nothing to be ashamed of there. I know they're making the quarterback change.
Listen, and they squandered some great field position and some great scoring opportunities. They really did.
It was a good effort. Auburn is a train wreck. They're throwing interceptions like they're going out of style. Hugh Freeze is throwing everybody under the bus. How is Auburn a favorite against Oklahoma? I don't care where that game's played.
Yeah, Oklahoma 12-1 against the spread coming off a loss as an underdog. Think about that. 12-1 against the spread when coming off a loss as an underdog. That right there tells you the right side of the game is Oklahoma. It is. Until Hugh Freeze gets things figured out at Auburn, that marriage is heading for divorce court real quick. I mean, if he doesn't turn that thing around, and he's at a wit's end. So they'll be in therapy. And they got a lot of money invested in him. I mean, he's starting to think Liberty was a pretty cush job. But yeah, I mean, I'm on Oklahoma plus the points.
All right, get some extra padding for your paddle and enjoy it, my friend.
None. There's none. You guys killed me. You said
you lost so much weight that there's no padding. There's no cushion for the pushing or the paddling.
None.
All right.
Listen, bottom line,
take it like a man.
The only thing that makes it worthwhile is the outfit's real great. So there we go.
We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the games.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, that Oklahoma Auburn line, I've looked at it and I've looked at it and I've looked at it. And I feel like it's a Vegas trap. I don't understand it. If they only give up 25 points to Tennessee's offense, how the hell's Auburn going to score against Oklahoma?
Right. And what's the line? What's the number?
Auburn's a 1.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back, wrap things up from TSS Supply. At least we will. John Harden will be back out here from 11 to 1. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
6 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Possible. Not call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash. 1-524-6799 or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments. And welcome to Flight 101. To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60-plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 95 FM. This hour brought to you by James Floors and More. Here once again
The Memphis Rebounders event today officially sold out. So if you're a member of the Memphis Rebounders and didn't get your ticket, I don't know what you're waiting for, but despite the rain, it's on. Of course, it's indoors. The 5th annual Happy Hour Hoops. So the Rebounders get a chance to see that Tiger team up close and personal. I can't wait to go over there when I get a chance to see that team because, again, this team is foreign to most people. We don't really know what they're going to do. We'll know sooner than later.
We are out here at TSS Supply, 5665 East Rains Road. John Harden's going to be here from 11 to 1. They're going to have Baby Jack's barbecue for lunch today, so you can stop on by and enjoy that. Again, you can also register to win 4 tickets for the Tigers game tomorrow against Middle Tennessee State or the North Texas game on October 19th. They'll be drawing those winners out at the end of John's show, just before 1 o'clock. We've got the family 4-pack for Jones Orchard that you can stop by and grab as well. That's, again, at TSS Supply for all those concrete finishing needs, concrete polishing, coatings, so all your supplies. You contractors out there, this is the place. Everything you need, all in one place here at TSS Supply.
Couple of other final notes. Joe Wolf has passed away, former North Carolina player and longtime coach in the NBA as an assistant coach and director of ops and things of that nature. Joe Wolf passing away. And this note, if Navy beats UAB tomorrow, and I would think the way they played against Memphis that they will, Army and Navy will both be off to a 4-0 start for the first time since 1945. And on their way to a collision course of possibly meeting in the American Championship, followed by the Army-Navy game.
And in 1945, they were coming off another big win, World War II. That was bigger than really the 4-0 start.
Yeah, let's put things into perspective.
If you want to rank their wins in 45, really World War II,
greatest win.
Kind of took the cheese over the 4-0 start.
Greatest win. You can win at the Chevy truck sale going on right now at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch because they got deals on all beautiful new Silverados as low as 1.9 financing and no payments for 90 days. You can't beat that. 0 payments for 3 months because your good credit deserves it, but it's more than just the Silverados. A great tailgating vehicle is the Tahoes. They have them for you at All-Star Chevrolet. Now, if you work in law enforcement, first responder, healthcare, military, you're a teacher, a recent graduate, get a $500 bonus. They also have a huge pre-owned section with everything from Jeeps to Toyotas to cargo vans and plenty of those pre-owned Silverados. So check out the pre-owned, test drive these vehicles today. And when you trade in your vehicle, you're going to get top dollar for it from All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. It's the Chevy Truck Season Sale going on now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. AllStarAutoGroup.com is the website. Once again, I want to say goodbye, Zach, to a great 5 years and wish you nothing but the best. We'll be seeing you around, and I'm sure we'll see you at a lot of the Grizzlies games.
Yeah, I mean, like I said yesterday, it's been a pleasure, you guys. I really enjoyed my time working with you, everyone here at the station, and the listeners, the loyal listeners, what you call them, Greg, that from around the world that, listen to our show from 7 to 10 every morning. I'm very appreciative of you guys, so thank you.
Well, it's very melancholy right now for all of us.
You got some music? There we go.
There it is. Well, for you folks who follow Zach on Twitter or have his email and have been fortunate enough to know him, make sure you hit him up and tell him thank you for 5 great years. We also want to welcome in, and we talked about him yesterday, Elijah Seegers, who will take over as our producer beginning on Monday. Speaking of Monday, we'll also be on the road Monday. We're going to be at a Mike Miller golf event that'll be going on at Colonial Country Club, so looking forward to broadcasting live from there. I want to thank John Varlas, Parker Fleming, and Brandon Lang for joining us on the show. Don't forget, John Harden's out here from 11 to 1 at TSS Supply. But Dave Willochon's next with Rolo and Friends on Sports 56. We say goodbye to Zach Boyd. For Zach, Elijah, for Eli, I'm Greg. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday.